wanting people to listen, you can't just tap them on the shoulder anymore. You have to hit them with a sledgehammer. And then you'll notice you've got their strict attention.
So your murderers come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who have cared for you all of your life, and they always seem to come at a time when you're at your weakest and most in need of their help.
But here's my advice to the rest of you. Take dead aim on the rich ones. Get them in the crosshairs and take them down.
I'm ready. Let's do it right now, right here. Come on.
All right.
I love you.
I love you, honey bunny.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you pick moves, and I'll execute every last one of you!
I generally come in at least 15 minutes late. After that, I just sort of space out for about an hour. I just stare at my desk. But it looks like I'm working. I do that for probably another hour after lunch, too. I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work.
The whole world gone crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules? Market zero! You think I'm fucking around here? Market zero! Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! You lousy son of a bitch! If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a double-cross artist!
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
I want that son of a bitch dead. I want him dead. I want you to get this fuck where he breathes. I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his egg.
Kick this ass for a man, that's all. Kick my ass. Enjoy. Come on. I'm not asking, I'm telling with this. Kick my ass.
Just say the first thing that pops into your mind. You sold me a crummy watch. I want my money back.
You know what you can do with that watch? Stick it up your ass.
Good. It's a mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. Don't you get it? Fuck, man.
It's still real to me, damn it.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent. For the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Cause a whole lot of bitches talking shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent. For the Cadillacs and gas money spent. We'll have a whole lot of bitches talking shit.
In my eyes, I done seen some crazy things in the street. Got a couple hoes working on the chain just for me. But I gotta keep my game tight like Kobe on game night. Like taking from a hoe, don't know no better. I know that ain't right. Done seen people killed, done seen people deal, done seen people live in poverty with no meals. It's fucked up where I live, but this is how it is. It might be new to you, but it's been like this for years. It's blood, sweat, and tears when it come down to this shit. I'm trying to get rich before I leave about this bitch. I'm trying to have things, but it's hard for a pimp. But I'm praying and I'm hoping to God I don't slip.
It's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent. For the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Cause a whole lot of bitches talking shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent. For the Cadillacs and gas money spent. We'll have a whole lot of bitches talking shit.
And it seems like I'm ducking, dodging bullets every day. Niggas hating on me cause I got holes on the tray. But I gotta stay paid, gotta stay above water. Couldn't keep up with my hoes, that's when shit got harder. North Memphis where I'm from, I'm 7th Street bound. The niggas all the time end up lost and never found. Man, these girls take me through things, leave a big headache. I'm hoping every night they don't end up being dead. Wait, I got a snow bunny and a black girl too. You pay the right price and they'll both do you. That's the way the game goes, gotta keep it strictly clipping. Gotta have a hustle tight, make it change all these women.
It's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent. For the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Cause a whole lot of bitches talking shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent. For the Cadillacs and gas money spent. We'll have a whole lot of bitches talking shit.
Yeah, it's hard out here for a pimp. Ron and Fez show. That's the Oscar-winning ballad, Fezzy.
by the 3-6 Mafia. Earl, you got to point out to the black kids that if you're black, you're never going to get in the Mafia anyway. So it's almost like saying the 3-6 KKK.
Got to create your own if you have to.
Yeah, I know you should, but come up with your own name. All right, it is the Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron, there's Fezzy.
Hiya, buddy.
And, of course, Black Earl on music representing for the 3-6.
What up, buddies?
And you know what? That actual film version of the song, I could understand. The stuff that they were doing on Last Night in Hollywood, I had no fucking idea what the hell they were singing.
That made no sense whatsoever. It looked like a bad scene out of a Broadway show.
Well, that was the thing. You had one thing. You had the kids there, the 3-6, trying to keep it real. And then around them, which was much more intense than the way the song was done in the film. And then around them, you had some gay guys holding up each other and dancing back and forth. It just didn't make sense at all.
And they had to change the words, too. So it's like, instead of bitches, it was witches. And it was just awkward and
weird.
At
some point I thought she was saying shit. At some point I just thought I heard shit over and over.
It was a shift.
Okay, so I can't keep up.
You do what you have to do to get that Oscar.
All right, the Oscar show was last night. The Academy Awards, I guess the 78th annual or something. This is the number 2 show behind the Super Bowl. If people watch TV, they watch the Super Bowl number 1, Oscars number 2. The reviews are in on Jon Stewart, and he's getting pummeled today.
Yeah, there isn't a good review out there, the job Jon Stewart did hosting.
I saw a couple. The Long Island newspaper was kind to him. Roger Ebert, I believe, was kind. Overall, though, mixed at best and pummeled at worst. I thought he did a pretty fine job. If anything, I realized he didn't take any chances. But if he did, everybody would have been mad at him for taking chances. So in no way, I guess, can you win that thing.
I enjoyed it. Kept the show moving along. I thought he was funny. Here's the problem. He's not Billy Crystal. Any of these reviewers, all they want is Billy Crystal.
They love the Billy Crystal?
That is it. That is all they want. No one else. It doesn't matter who it is. Jesus could come down from the mountain, host the show himself. He's not Billy Crystal.
Well, I would not expect Jesus to be a very funny Oscar host. That's me. It's just my own spirituality. Earl, did you think he did a bad job?
I think he did a great job. I think he kept it moving. The show ended on time. It was
a nice...
I think
short show.
Seemed like it went early.
When the best actor came up, I was absolutely shocked. I'm like, damn, it feels really early. Really, really early. And then, of course, they threw some, best writer in after you or whatever. You still had to slow it down a little bit. But still, overall, the show ran at a pretty nice clip. And then I'm not a big fan of the film Crash. As a matter of fact, I didn't like it at all. But I did like there was a big shock at the end of the night that made everybody scream. That was good.
That was a nice swerve.
Yeah.
To close out the night. We didn't see that run-in happening.
Because Fez came over. We had the little Oscar party. I dominated once again. That whole sheet of the major awards I had right, except for Crash, Fez.
You do really well.
Well,
I came in far behind.
The thing is, I watch films, where you, on the other hand, you read Entertainment Weekly. So Fez doesn't see the films, but he knows what he thinks of them.
That should be enough.
Yeah. Patrick, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I thought Jon Stewart did a really good job. He had a great line for the night. I thought he goes, if you're keeping score, Martin Scorsese 0, 3-6 Mafia 1. That was just right there. It just shows how nutty they are.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I thought the opening was pretty funny. Not great, not, oh my God, I can't believe that he said that. I mean, if anything, he played it a little safe like you normally would if you were doing a corporate gig. He reminded me of a comic doing a corporate gig. He was trying to stay respectful of the fact that people for all over the country like to watch the Oscars, not just people who agree with him politically.
I thought the political ads that they did, I liked that bit.
Yeah.
That was very Jon Stewart. That was bringing his own style into the Oscar ceremony.
Right.
Without ruining anything. The gay Western bit was hysterical. That may have been one of my favorite things all night.
Yeah, I thought that was good, too. Now, do you give the host credit for those, Fez? Because that really wasn't the kind of hosting gig. It wasn't, the host doing jokes.
I would give the host credit for that because it falls into his style, and I'm sure he's got to have a hand in it at some point.
It's his writing team.
Yeah.
All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Let me go to Mike here. Again, Jon Stewart getting bashed for his job last night. Fez and I thought it was pretty solid. Earl actually gave it 2 big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
No, he just did it back at
huge thumbs.
He just did it back at me now. Hey, Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, it just amazes me, they get up there and they scream that, we're the forefront of AIDS and civil rights and homelessness. We handle all those things. Then they give an award to a pimp who beats women and forces them into prostitution, and they glorify that.
Well,
it's amazing.
No, here's the thing. That was for the song. He didn't win. And it wasn't about, did you see the film?
Oh, yeah, I saw the film.
It wasn't about glorifying a pimp. It was about a guy who was a pimp saying, I'm going to pull out of this and make a life change.
It's funny. I mean,
but George Clooney, I have to... I know
the guys up there throwing the Oscar around like suitcases. It was hilarious last night to watch them up there screaming and yelling.
And if you really took the 3 songs that were up, that was the best song of the night. There's no doubt about it. And George Clooney, Fez, I know you're not a fan.
Not at all.
One of the best Oscar speeches I ever heard.
My problem with George Clooney is he won't get off of bashing Batman. He did a horrible job and then mocks out the film in Batman. And last night, his Oscar acceptance speech, he slips in Batman twice.
And I don't know whether you saw him on everything else, but the Bat jokes still kept going on E! And later on ABC, the Bat jokes were there. And when Clooney won and started attacking like the Bat thing, like it was stupid, I had tears coming out of my eyes just watching Fezzy smoke sitting on my couch.
Yeah.
He was furious.
Yeah, tears coming out of his eyes, steam coming out of my ears.
Yeah.
And there's no stopping him. He's just steamrolling. Why? He'll never go away.
But he's doing great work. You got to give him credit for that, Fez.
I give him credit for nothing.
You got to give him. He's doing great work. He looks great. He's getting all the chicks.
He thinks head twitching is acting.
He makes it all look easy. The whole thing. There's just no stress with the guy.
And he's so beloved. Oh my gosh, the George Clooney lines last night.
He's like the new Jack. That's you. What they used to do for Jack Nicholson, where the stars get together and go, I can't believe there's other stars here.
And at the Independent Spirit Awards over the weekend, Kevin Smith even brought it up. There's been 116 George Clooney jokes tonight.
Right. Everybody loves him. Here's Rob. Rob, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I thought Jon Stewart did a shitty job.
I didn't hear you, Rob.
I thought Jon Stewart did a shitty job.
Are you a fan of his to begin with, or you don't like him?
I like to watch him on his Comedy Central, but I thought he did a shitty job last night.
What didn't you get that you were hoping for?
I thought he had a little bit more comedy involved, and it wasn't up to my expectations.
You can't express what bothers you, though?
Not like the comedy.
The comedy. All right.
More comedy with it.
All right. Thank you very much. I guess he didn't think the comedy worked, Fez. Somewhere in there he had a critique. He wasn't sure what it was. He doesn't know what he didn't get, but he feels like he didn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he doesn't like, but he knows it when he sees it.
Yeah. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. I thought he did solid. I did not have too many moments where I went, oh, my God, I can't believe he got away with that. That fucking Slade. Everybody's falling down. But it's solid, and it's not an easy thing to do. Steve Martin, I would put him in he did well like Steve Martin, where I had a very comfortable night where I found myself laughing out loud.
I was always glad to see Jon Stewart come back out on the stage.
Yeah.
And he didn't get in the way of the ceremony.
Make it about him.
Like a Billy Crystal, who no matter who wins an Oscar when he's hosting, will come out and announce, what a great night. My best friend has won an Oscar.
So you don't like George Clooney or Billy Crystal?
No.
Why do you watch the Oscars?
Because that's all it's going to be from now on. And another thing is, besides Clooney having a huge night, I hate seeing Ryan Felipe walk away happy.
Yeah, he did. He felt like he got his little piece of the Oscar because he was in a film that won an Oscar.
When Jack Nicholson announced that Crash had won, you see Ryan Felipe head right towards a TV camera, get in the way of the producers who are supposed to come up and collect the award, run right as fast as you can into a camera.
Why so cranky? Why can't you have some fun with some of this stuff? Why are you just angry about it?
I just hate them all.
John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, John.
Is it me?
Yes, I guess it is. Scott.
Okay, it's Scott.
All right, there you go. All right, buddy.
Okay. Hey, man, how y'all doing?
Good, buddy.
I think Jon Stewart done a hell of a job. I hate Billy Crystal, but I think the biggest thing between Jon Stewart is everybody's divided. Republicans don't like him because he's one of the few Democrat voices that's on TV, and Democrats do like him. But I think that's where the big divide is.
But didn't you think he went out of his way not to be part of that? Not to? I mean, he did a Cheney joke. A really far out of the way Iraq joke about pulling that statue down, which, everybody should have done anyway. But, if anything, I thought he did a good job of, I'm not going to make people in the South feel upset about watching the show tonight.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't do it over the top, but it was still there, and you know how a lot
But
of Republicans
anybody that they had host would have done a Cheney joke.
Yeah.
It was just the topic of the year so far.
But I don't think that was the big complaint, Fezzi. I think the big complaint went from the guy who really couldn't articulate it, but said he expected him just to be funnier, just not quite funny enough. Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, buddy.
What do you think Ben Stiller was up to last night?
Oh, I thought that killed. That was one of those silly Ben Stiller bits that I'm really glad didn't have a payoff, where he found out, wait, it didn't go on, that he just, in his mind, always thought that it worked. My only problem is that and the makeup joke were pretty close to each other, but the humor between all those guys is now. That's that whatever funny mafia.
He's making a bid for next year. You think he wants to do it next year?
Well, he does those kind of things almost at any award show. He'll show up at any award show, any talk show, and he's always prepared. You got to give him that.
Yeah. What do you think about Will Smith, though? They gave him the foreign language film. I mean, what was that all about?
Will Smith is another one of those guys who's just absolutely loved in Hollywood.
Yeah, and he tries to grab as much of it back as he can. I'm surprised during the red carpet stuff, him and Jada Pinkett Smith didn't start talking about what great sex they have together.
Again, you're angry.
It's just that's all they ever talk about.
What happened to the lovable gay guy that I used to do the show with before he became the curmudgeon? Earl, you know what this is a matter of? The vacation didn't come up in time. When the vacation doesn't come up in time, the show will get a little angrier.
We'll take some time off.
Yes, but I told you
2 weeks.
I told you 3 weeks ago that there was a burnt factor. You should have pulled the plug that day. You should have some kind of button that you hit that was Fez and I, him off to Key West, me farther away in some other direction. So we're split up from each other. We're just revitalizing ourselves, and we get rid of the brain moosh.
I need a week in the Keys, Earl.
There you go, Fez. You're in the Keys. Some big stupid cocktail that you drink down there. Some blue slushy drink.
I love my blue alcoholic slushy drinks.
Here's John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Yeah.
I was wondering if you thought that they were giving Jon Stewart a hard time in the reviews because they kind of took jabs at journalists last night, so the journalists are jabbing back, you think?
Well, he does that on his show all the time. I mean, his show is kind of making fun of the media horse. So I don't think that's it. But even Tom Shales, who I think is a fan of his, Fez, ripped him pretty good.
Man.
From the Washington Post.
There's no love anywhere for him.
866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here is Greg. Greg, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Listen, man, I just wanted to bring up, y'all were saying, Jon Stewart did a show last night that, he was trying to make the people in the South not feel bad about watching it.
Yeah.
Dude, I live an hour south of New Orleans, okay? I'm as far south as you're going to get, all right? And I thought he did a great job. What a lot of people don't realize is Jon Stewart is more of one of these thinking comedians, kind of like he's a political comedian. He makes you think, not necessarily laugh. I heard a guy call earlier saying that.
So at one of his comedy shows, you just hear, or just 2,000 people go, interesting.
Well, also, he is a comedian, don't get me wrong. He made the joke last night, about all the Democrats in the audience finally, being happy that they actually voted for something that won.
Right, those were pretty funny jokes. Those were pretty good jokes.
He's ripping on his own kind.
Right, I agree with you. I thought he gave a couple of good jabs to Hollywood, and it was all in good fun, and everything was all right. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Hey, Jake. Jake, you're on Ron and Fez, buddy.
up, guys?
Yeah.
Hey, what the fuck is up with Tom Hanks, man? His head looks like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. He looks like a mess.
Well, is that some movie that he's doing, Fez?
Yeah, for some reason he insists on wearing his Da Vinci Code hair everywhere now for every interview.
But then he had it cut by the time he came out and actually was on stage. So it looks like he just got it cut within the last 24 hours.
Yeah, but it still has that weird look on top, that real comb back look. Like the guy said, that Vega look. Victor Vega look.
Vic Vega. But that was the way it was, I thought, in the film. But then when he walked out, he looked like the old Tom Hanks. Hey, Jeremy, you're on Ron and Fez.
I think we need to get Fez some poontang and forget about Lent. He's too upset.
Fez took it off for Lent. No poonie for Lent. Let's bring Eastside Dave in here and check how he's doing. 40 days without gratification, either with his woman or even more importantly for him, self-gratification. How many days are you into this now, Eastside Dave?
I believe, 6?
6 days? I don't know.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now it's Monday. It's the 6th day.
How are you feeling?
Terrible.
Are you really?
100%, yes. The Oscars, like every single person, it was temptation. Reese Witherspoon, who I do not find attractive normally because she's too bubbly and stuff. I never wanted to spank so hard in my entire life.
So who most of all grabbed you? Who was the one that said, I wish I could spank to her right now?
Witherspoon, and even though the dress was horrible, that Naomi Watts, the Donkey Kong chick.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see her?
She was in Donkey Kong, the movie. What a maniac.
I mean, King Kong.
Donkey Kong is not a movie.
No, King Kong, she looked, oh my God.
Yeah.
She works out or something.
Reese Witherspoon, her head is now forming a perfect upside-down triangle.
Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, listen, about this whole Jon Stewart thing, I think the problem is everyone keeps comparing him to past comics, but that's not Jon Stewart. He's not punchline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Billy Crystal, they seem to love because he's old-fashioned Hollywood. He's kind of a little closer to a Bob Hope. There's a lot of gags there, and he really sells it hard. I mean, I guess he's perfect for that show. He just fits that show.
Yeah, there's nothing subtle or understated about Billy Crystal.
Yeah. Here's Paul. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, hi. I want to make a comment. The president of the Motion Picture Association, or the Academy, had come out, and he was making some points about how the real movie-going experience is going to a theater and watching the movie, and saying that you can't capture the magic on DVD. It's like no watching it at your home theater, and that point was made again, too, and that's just a bunch of shit. I mean, a lot of people have big screen TVs at home. They love to get the DVDs and go home and watch. You don't have to worry about listening to some other asshole in the theater talking their cell phone or laughing.
You know what? There's some of that is true, but there is still something about the universally shared feeling of being together. There's definitely something like that. And it's why, to really experience a stand-up show, to really get it, you got to be there live. You know what I mean? Not that you can't watch at home and laugh and this or that, but it's a totally different feeling. It's the same for music. To see a real rock and roll show, you've got to sit, no matter what you think of The Last Waltz, I guarantee you it was better there. So there is something about seeing, particularly some of the bigger movies on the big screen, everybody together, and being there when, 200 heads pop back.
I'll agree on that, but it felt like it was a commercial to try to get you to go to a movie theater, because, ticket sales have been lagging for...
Yeah, and that is his job, to tell people to go out and see the movies, and I think he did a bad job, because I really don't have any idea what he said. I fucking started to just fade away when he started talking.
It's such a tune-out. Every award show has to stop this. Quit having the president of your academy come out. It is the worst thing of any award show.
Fez, you're just grouchy. You're just grouchy. This is supposed to be your time of the year where you're catty and fun and things are happening, but everything can't be the worst. And that's what he needs, Earl. Instead of taunting him about it, you should have got it 3 weeks ago. George, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I was wondering, did Fez bet on Brokeback Mountain? Is that why they lost?
You did have the Brokeback bet.
I bet on Brokeback, Heath, Jake. I didn't go with Ang Lee. I went with Bennett Miller for Capote.
Yeah.
And Ang Lee ended up winning.
So you were
if you look at it, sure.
You were a little furious last night about the Crash upset.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I didn't think that deserved.
Did you see Crash?
No, not at all.
Then you've got to figure out, before you have an opinion, you need to see some of these things. Did you see Crash Eastside?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
No, it was terrible.
I thought it was terrible, too.
I got it for free because of the Writers Guild. You know, they send you free stuff.
Oh, did you give it to me?
I gave it to you at the Christmas party, and you threw it back in my face.
Okay, so because I already saw it?
Yeah, no, you said you wouldn't accept it, so I gave you that and the screenplay, and then Stalker Patty, after you threw it, she collected the scraps. So somewhere Stalker Patty's sitting with Crash.
I do have a reputation for throwing people's gifts away sometimes the second I get them. And I don't know what that is. I just want to point this out. I've already got the Elvis Costello best stuff. You give it to me again, I'm throwing it back down. Not you, Earl. It's a whole inside joke. I'm going to guess Tread, you're Ron and Fez. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, there is a difference between watching a film in a theater and a video. Watching a film off a projector is much better than watching a film transferred to video on your television. That experience alone makes it better.
Yeah, and I do understand, but the thing is, how many films do you really feel like leaving the house for? At the same time, when it comes to 99% of what they're doing, I understand why people are saying stay home. But let's say this, that there's some films like, I don't know, like Zoolander or Anchorman, that if you're supposed to be laughing at stupid jokes, you're probably going to laugh more at the theater than you will at home.
Where it's a little bit more contagious.
That's so true, because I saw Bruce Almighty in the theater and was dying. I'm like, this is the funniest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's back. I just watched it recently, and it's terrible. It's really a bad movie.
They're doing a sequel to that film, but without Jim Carrey.
Oh.
They're going to use the 40-year-old virgin that he becomes Almighty.
Oh.
See, that was one that fell down to wait till cable to watch.
And it's bad on
that's
TV.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I saw it at the theater, and I got it back up Eastside Dave. I was laughing there like a fucking moron. And it's just stupid because it's really not a real film. Peter, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, boys. How you doing today?
Hey, buddy.
Listen, Stewart last night, I love him, but I felt the only thing he did wrong was he didn't take control of the room. He seemed nervous.
He looked a little small up there.
Afraid.
Yeah, he looked a little tiny in that big stage. At the same time, I don't think he did such an awful job. I really don't.
What he did was he went to that plastic desk and stayed there, that podium,
yeah,
where Billy Crystal will run actually up to the person he's making a joke about.
But he's a different comedian. You can't compare. It's not like, okay, you got to do this show, so now you got to take on somebody else's personality. He brought what he does to that show. I thought it was okay. I don't know what everybody's beef was.
You know, I actually think really the best host, like of the last, say, 15 years, I really like Steve Martin a lot.
Steve Martin was very strong.
I love Steve Martin.
But see, here's the thing. Steve Martin is part of that community.
But the thing is, I almost think they don't want him back because he ripped a lot of celebrities then.
Well,
it was really surprising.
He was asked back. He just once?
Oh,
yeah, he hasn't done it again. It's a fucking big pain in the ass. It takes for weeks, and then the next day, look at this, broad. I think she's unfucking believable, even with that big stupid bow on her shoulder.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah,
and that bow looks inflatable.
she's almost not human. She's so attractive.
Yeah,
she's so attractive. Here's Lee. Lee, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
what's up, Lee?
Well, not too much. I just wanted to say that, good, bad, or indifferent, as far as Stewart is concerned, the show was entertaining, nevertheless.
I thought it was a pretty entertaining show, too. I got to agree with you. It would have been. It's always better, like, if you've got some famous music stars singing their songs, you know? If you're going to throw it to a U2 or a Springsteen or Sting or Paul Simon, something other than Dolly Parton, a woman I never heard of before, and the 3-6 Mafia. That kind of was the one thing that you didn't get the big musical number of the night.
Dolly Parton, that sounded like her microphone wasn't even on.
Exactly.
That's what she sounds like. Yeah, that is what she sounds like.
And how How did that song get nominated? Half of the song it was her going, oh, oh, oh. Did you hear? There weren't actually any lyrics.
Yeah, I can't fight that. I guess there was just no tunes. There was no Randy Newman song this year. I'm always happy to see him come out and sing a cartoon number. Sam, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see what you guys thought of Philip Seymour Hoffman winning the Capote for the Best Actor.
I mean, it wasn't even close. It was, he's won every award out there. The guy's just unbelievable. And for me, it was my favorite film of the year.
I wish he would have barked even a little bit, like the college promise that he made.
You know what? I've only heard that from Hack, what he calls, he's going to bark. The Joel Siegels were screaming it all night. I never heard him say, hey, if I get up there, I'm going to bark. So they just kind of set everybody up to feel disappointed in him. Although, you think by this time he would have come up with some George Clooney-esque type speech to give. You only got a minute. Prepare so you're not doing a bunch of ums.
It was like he got caught off guard because he kept putting whatever cards he had in his hand, he kept putting them over his face to think, and you just don't even see him most of the time during his speech.
Yeah, he was looking at his shoes the entire time. But I kind of like that. It was like modest and shit like that,
Modest and shit like that. A lot of those guys that are good actors cannot get up there and give a speech. De Niro, horrible. Hoffman, horrible. Pacino, horrible. So I think now as you're trying to say, I'm an actor, not a personality, so I'm going to fucking destroy up here. I'm going to just make it look terrible. Doug, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah.
Hey, the first two jokes he told, I think he just lost the crowd. The Hollywood crowd just cannot take a joke about themselves. They have
you also have to remember that that's not the easiest place to be in an audience because they're being judged. They're being watched by everybody.
Exactly. They can't take it.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they know that they go to this party and it could destroy your career. You wear the wrong dress, your career's over. You give a stupid speech, you're fucking Sally Field. Where 20 years later, she can't get work because she yelled something out that the cool tables around the country did not think worked for them. So nobody wants to be seen with their mouth open laughing hard.
We haven't heard from Jim Cameron since that retarded speech that he did with the King of the World type comment.
Let's face it, Ang Lee did the same thing. I can't forget. No, he goes like this. I can't quit you. He misquoted his own fucking film like a little yellow man just up there. He's the same size as the Oscar. They're both gold-skinned. And I'm like, they're fucking twins. There's twins on stage right now. Here's Sean. Sean, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. What's going on? Hey, I was just going to talk to you guys about going to the theater as opposed to staying home watching a movie. Well, for one, it costs $40 to go to the theater. And, man, it really makes me feel uncomfortable when I got like 35 other people watching me get my dick sucked by my old lady, and they're swiping my popcorn at the same fucking time.
By your old lady, you mean a guy, right? So I can understand where the uncomfortability comes in. Michael, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, I would tell you that the hottest woman is Selma Hayek.
I can't fight that.
A body like Madonna and the kind of voice that should clean your apartment afterwards.
Yeah, right. That is the thing about her. You do feel like she'll get up and make you eggs in the morning. There's something, even as hot as she is, there's the slightest bit of servitude there. It just feels like after fucking her all over your bedroom, she's going to make the bed in the morning, maybe even switch up the sheets for you.
She was beautiful last night, and whatever award she gave out, I love the fact that she couldn't say Brokeback Mountain. It just came out ba-ba-ba.
No matter what she said, every fucking word she said didn't make sense to me. But I was just watching her titties jiggle. She's amazing.
That movie Frida, though, like almost ruined her for me because she plays a Mexican painter with a unibrow. And now every time I see her, I still see huge unibrow on her, even if it's not there.
I would keep it there because there was something about that movie that were her in a fucking full body cast as they were cutting it off, ready to fuck. Thank you, Earl, for giving me the big thumbs up.
That was awesome.
That was the hottest scene in the history of film. Just cut her out of a body.
Yeah.
You know the fucking ripeness of the skin is just coming up, filling the room, and I'd have dove right on it. Snapped that fucking spine for the second time. Here is Brian. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job. I thought it was going to be a nonstop Bush bash. I was ready for it, but I think he really did a good job. The jokes they told about the right wings were funny, and they didn't just do them constantly. But
Yeah, he did a couple of cute little light jokes about each side, and that's what everybody wanted out of
The
him.
one thing that was a little annoying, though, is like the whole night was about how important Hollywood is to social issues, which I like social issue movies every once in a while, but you got to throw in some movies like King Kong and some movies.
I don't know if you watched the same thing. King Kong was on there constantly, and Star Wars was on there constantly. So what they say and what they do are two different things. The fucking real truth of the matter is those people make money to get people to leave their house and buy tickets. And that's the main thing. At the end of the year, they go, holy shit, we've got to show something that we make serious movies. So they run over the independent films that they didn't even fucking put up the money for, pull them out of the goddamn darkness and go, look, aren't we great? And then they celebrate that night. But the real truth of the matter is, don't worry about it. There's going to be a year of fucking Superman and Spider-Man and one fucking man after the other. They don't care. Here is Roger. Roger, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that 3-6 Mafia won the award. I mean, that song was just garbage compared to the Kathleen York song in Crash.
I thought that song was terrible.
Yep.
The reason why they crashed and crashed is that Kathleen. Did you see the film?
Yeah.
They had the radio station on. Kathleen York was singing, and the fucking the girl driving she's trying to stay awake. She's trying to reach her radio, couldn't do it. Passes out from boredom, and then crashes.
There should be a warning.
Yeah. So that was that was the real problem.
I didn't see Hustle and Flow because it's just not my kind of movie. I didn't care about it, but I just, after seeing the performance and everything, I'm like, okay.
Well, they weren't even in the film. If you see the film, you might like it a little better. Even that song I thought was better. Not to put down the 3-6, because they were representing. But if anybody of name, anybody of stature would have sung a song in a film this year, they would have won.
Well, Terrence Howard was originally scheduled to sing the song, as they did in the movie, but then he backed out at the last minute, so they got the guys who wrote the song.
I don't blame him. It's the last thing he needs to be seen doing. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, to see Ang Lee won and everything, and he did that Crouching Tiger movie, they would probably have done better with Brokeback if they would have named it Crouching Cowboy Hidden Cock. Nothing?
No.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
Not a bit.
Yeah. Maybe if you would have done this gimmick, I don't know, 9-10 weeks ago, might have got a laugh, but I am so Brokeback down. A matter of fact, the great thing about this, we don't even have to hear about Brokeback Mountain ever again. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty. Here's Roger Ebert on the show. Roger, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah. I just want to tell you what a fucked up show that was last night. I don't think Jon Stewart does a good job at all.
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This isn't Roger Ebert.
It's not?
Yeah.
No. I'm at my Kentucky home. I got put on the Kentucky accent here.
Yeah, all right, very funny.
Could be Roper, though.
John, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hi, ladies. What's going on?
Can't hear you too well, but go ahead, try to straighten out that phone.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
How about now?
Perfect.
Better.
Hey, how big a douche could George Clooney be? Jon Stewart made a pretty good little joke about how folks view the left coast, and then he had to get up there and ruin it with his little diatribe.
Well, what didn't you like about it?
Well, when he got up there and said, I'm so proud to be a part of this community, and how they were the first people talking about AIDS out in Hollywood, and like, you know what, the fucking United Nations might disagree.
So you're pro-United Nations. First guy on the right I've ever seen that really loved the United Nations.
They're not such bad guys.
Yeah, all right, glad to hear it.
Our own ambassador to the UN doesn't like the UN.
Here is, talking about the right, this is the newest tape making its way around. I guess Keith Olbermann played this the other day, and I am not the biggest fan of Bill O'Reilly, but I do want to follow him into this, and that is threatening callers with security coming after you. Now, I've fucking snapped on callers before, but we do not have a security force here at XM that can get people in legal problems. So, and this is a caller who didn't curse, didn't say anything bad. I guess they brought up Keith Olbermann's name in a positive way, but let's take a listen to this.
Orlando, Florida. Mike, go.
Hey, Bill, I appreciate you taking my call.
Sure.
I like to listen to you during the day. I think Keith Olbermann's show.
There you go. Mike is he's a gone guy. You know, we have your phone numbers, by the way. So if you're listening, Mike, we have your phone number, and we're going to turn it over to Fox Security, and you'll be getting a little visit.
Maybe Mike is from the mothership.
No, maybe Mike's going to get in big trouble because we're not going to play around. When you call us, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we do have your phone number. And if you say anything untoward, obscene, or anything like that, Fox Security then will contact your local authorities, and you will be held accountable. Fair?
That's fair.
So just all you guys who do this kind of a thing, you know, I know some shock jocks, whatever, you will be held accountable. Believe it. We'll be right back.
All right, so there you go. This is what a different phase of his career O'Reilly is from us. You have Fox Security. They will call local police. Local police will have you arrested for a bad call to him. Bad calls. Here's the problem with Bill O'Reilly. The woman goes, does that sound, he says to the woman, does that sound fair? She doesn't have the balls to go, no, it sounds like you're talking a little crazy, Bill. It sounds like you need a week off. You need a little time to settle down. Nobody will tell him. No, that's fucking insane.
No, it doesn't sound fair that someone's going to have to do hard time for a bad radio phone call.
There is nothing worse. There is nothing, and I'm looking over at our whole staff, nothing worse than a yes man. Yes man brings nothing to the fucking show.
Yes, sir.
See, that's the problem. I know you want to keep your job, but at some point, because I'm fucking tired right now, when you hear me telling people if they give a bad call, XM Security will contact the local people, I want you to point it out so I'm not talking crazy.
I would definitely say I think you're overreacting just a little bit.
But then that would be good to say.
Yes.
Every once in a while, the fucking host should hear, no, you fucking crazy bastard, you're out of your fucking mind.
When he says Fox Security, I'm going to report this to Fox Security and you'll be getting a little visit. All I can picture are those pages that have the Fox logo on their jackets that maybe give the studio tour or something. And they're going to show up to rough up this guy.
Now, let me tell you something. If I don't hear a fucking harmonica man on that show talking through a harmonica, Radio Shark, you got no balls. Because I'm tired of hearing how you've been on every goddamn show for the last 20 years, and this fucker, I don't think he's ever gotten a harmonica. Now, I'm trying to think of this. Is he on Fox Radio, too? Because I remember he was with Westwood One when we were at JFK.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know about any sort of Fox Radio.
Hey, or does he just call his TV station? Do they follow him everywhere? Hey, Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, he's on to something, man. If bad calls are illegal, throw Blowhard in the can and never let him out again, buddy.
Oh, you saying life sentence?
A life sentence, absolutely.
We should do a fucking thing of bad call police, where just fucking, it's not that you've done anything wrong, you're just a show-stopping asshole. That's all you are at this point. Are you waving? Yeah, go ahead, Earl.
And the other part is, imagine if you're the cop on the other end that has to deal with this and have to deal with the paperwork. It's like, wow, what's
I
the
know,
problem,
Mr.
sir?
O'Reilly. Bad calls do slow a show down. We're going to look into it. Just trying to go along like the woman on the street who's always saying Russians. You know how there's always a woman at the end of every block who, here is Pete. Pete, you're on Ron and Fez.
That's not my phone, dickweed.
There goes Radio Shark. Get that shit on O'Reilly. I want him to hear a harmonica man. Here's Jason. Jason, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man, I just wanted to say, take a listen to that call again. It sounds like after he said Keith Olbermann that they hit the dump because he cursed. It doesn't sound like it was just a bad call.
No, he dumped out because he said Keith Olbermann. The guy definitely did not curse. And the guy has posted that he has been contacted by Fox Security. And Fox Security said, you're giving, like 20 calls in. And he goes, no, I fucking didn't. I called once. Shut up. So I'd be interested to see where the whole thing goes.
What he needs, O'Reilly needs, is a private number for his radio show so that he doesn't keep getting these harassing calls that the cops have to respond to.
Hey, Justin, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, wouldn't pissing off Fox Security be about the same as pissing off the Department of Homeland Security these days?
Yeah, it basically is the same people.
These cronies just show up right up?
Yeah. There's probably some kind of a phone in the White House that blinks every time O'Reilly feels like he's gotten a bad call. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Now, we've got fucking phone screeners here who are at best a sieve. Just a fucking sieve that don't slow a damn thing down. Don't even get the person's name correct most of the time.
If the cops should show up at anyone's house, it's these phone screeners. There's the crime.
The crime is, Fezzy, you know who we don't have here with us. Big Bad Billy Staples, the best of all phone screamers. And he would do this. He would take the heat for the bad calls. He would take responsibility because he would say to himself, I'm not going to let a call up there unless it's fucking rocking. That's what Billy would do.
He was a phone goalie. He would just block shots. Bad shots trying to come in.
Here's Peter. Peter, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, I need your help. The Fox police are outside my house right now, and they won't stop ringing my doorbell. What should I do?
The Fox police, you know they're coming for me. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what Fox Security does. I like to get Master Poe after some people when I don't like their calls. Hey, Ryan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I think his Fox Security's a couple of his old combat buddies from down in South America. From his unit.
From his war days.
Yeah, when he was...
from his unit, remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. All right, let's take and listen to it again, O'Reilly. And here's what I like. Just listen to how on the edge his voice sounds. He's about to fucking crack at all times now. He's just there.
Orlando, Florida. Mike, go.
Hey, Bill, I appreciate you taking my call.
Sure.
I like to listen to you during the day. I think Keith Olbermann's show.
There you go. Mike is he's a gone guy. You know, we have your phone numbers, by the way. So if you're listening, Mike, we have your phone number, and we're going to turn it over to Fox Security, and you'll be getting a little visit.
Maybe Mike is from the mothership.
No, maybe Mike's going to get in big trouble because we're not going to play around. When you call us, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we do have your phone number. And if you say anything untoward, obscene, or anything like that, Fox Security then will contact your local authorities, and you will be held accountable. Fair?
That's fair.
So just all you guys who do this kind of a thing, you know, I know some shock jocks, whatever, you will be held accountable. Believe it. We'll be right back.
He has to go to a break.
I am so fucking tired of the bad goddamn calls. Fox Security, what do you people do for a living? Bill, he just said he liked you and Keith Olbermann. Get out. Get out of here. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Morning, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, what they do is they take you out hunting with Cheney. Quail hunting.
Yeah. Let's take him out for a little quail hunting trip. I see Fox Security like the Central Park Police in that Elf movie, where you don't even get to see their faces.
Just mall cops.
Just really scary stormtroopers. They're wearing that welding mask over their face. Anything can come down. And it's a beatdown. You're not even going to get questioned by them. Here is Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's going on, buddy?
Yeah.
I miss 80s jobber Fez.
Me too, because during the 80s, he jobbed for every fucking headliner out there.
I made a living counting the lights.
Always getting a bad haircut. Anyway, I wanted to talk about people getting arrested for bad calls, because I want my goods and services, because these truck drivers are always making phone calls, and I want my goods and services. I don't want them all in jail.
That's true. Truck drivers just fucking put the phones down and then put the hammer down and get things here on time.
Is it really worth having a record, making that bad phone call?
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Who would we be locking up now, Fez, if we were arresting bad callers?
Oh, crazy. Jen would be gone.
I don't see Hagar making it through the night. I'm just going to point that out. I don't see Hagar. And the fact is, I'm seeing 4 out of 5 shows he's trying to get in. And most of the time, I'm like, think about it before you call Hagar. Here is John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
6632.
Hey, buddy, way to go old school for us.
Hoo-ah! I'd like to know if the hypocrite that he is, Bill O'Reilly, had the Fox police come after him with that incident that he had about a year or two ago that got whitewashed out.
Well, they showed up with 2 bags of money. And let me tell you something. If you get a fucking dirty phone call from an old man and can make a couple mil on it, I say it's well worth it. I'd let him eat my ass for fucking $2 million. I don't care what the whole problem was. That girl, I know where she's living. I know what part of town she's living. She never would have been able to afford that apartment without her. That fucking building's nice.
All for hearing rude falafel talk.
She's living across the show from the girl who does Saturday Night Live, Tina Fey. Her apartment is across from Tina Fey's. So that's worth it. What producer for a TV show, fucking TV news show, is going to find herself there? Here is Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's going on, buddy?
Yeah.
Seems like only Fox News is so self-righteous that they think they can prosecute bad taste.
Yeah, I don't know. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here is Victor. Victor, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron and Fez. This is Victor from Baltimore. How are you?
Good. What can we do for you, Vic?
Yeah, listen, I think that telephone misuse is a big deal because, number one, they say the guy called in 20 times, and if they can prove that, then they can prosecute him with telephone misuse. I don't agree with it.
For what? Calling a number he's been told by the host to call?
I know, but he wasn't saying something relevant to the show, and that's one of the things that got him upset.
But that is not a crime.
Right,
that's a fucking pain in the ass, but it's not a crime. And first of all, when you get people that call on the phone, we used to have things, I learned it like 2 days into it, called contest pigs, who would be on fucking speed dial to your radio station trying to win, trying to do everything all the time. When you're a radio station, that's the kind of fucking listeners that you want, the hardcores. So no one's going to get arrested for calling a radio show 20 times.
Right. It's expected that that's the callers that you'll eventually get. I mean, even CNN and Fox had these type of calls where something would happen and they'd go on TV. And, Howard Stern would do it. Listeners of Howard Stern, I hate to bring his name up.
Go ahead.
This has happened a long time, It's been going on. I don't think that they should be prosecuted, but they can be.
There's no way anybody could be prosecuted. You think the fucking pests are living in fear from the authorities? It's insane.
No, if they're anonymous, no, they're not living in fear. Hopefully somebody's putting names behind it.
He didn't even get his call started. Just like, hey, I like you and I like Keith Olbermann, and he got cut off. He didn't even get a chance to
guys, have
get
a good
into his
night.
call.
Yeah, whatever. You're a fucking bad caller already, talking over Earl. Go ahead.
No, he didn't even get into his call. He was like, hey, I like your show. I also like Keith Olbermann, and that's when he got cut off.
And the man solicits phone calls. You can't say it's illegal to call that show.
Right. It's just stupid.
It's that of like every old man that's at a ball come into his yard.
John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what on earth the guy said to make him so mad. I mean, he just said a person's name. What's the point of all that?
I guess that he has such hate for Olbermann, and he fucking does, because he's starting this thing where he's trying to get Olbermann kicked off. Was he on CNBC, MSNBC?
MSNBC.
I don't even watch either fucking show.
Apparently, he wrote a letter to Bob Wright.
Yeah, so he hates him so much, and you're allowed to hate whoever or say the other guy sucks. But the weird thing is to act like, and this guy said later he did get the call from Fox Security, who's out there to make sure that every call is perfect.
Their day must be so long now.
Yeah.
All these trips they have to make.
Here's Smitty. Smitty, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Buddy.
Buddies, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, I'd like to know how Riley's going to, or Fox, I should say, is going to pursue this as like harassment or telephone misuse when, you touched on it before. They're soliciting the phone calls, and harassment is defined as unwanted or an annoyance by making unwanted phone calls. How is it unwanted if they're soliciting?
Yeah, first of all, they're not trying to. What they're going to what they tried to do with the guy is scare him. Just put like a little scare at him, like the old lady at the end of the block who told you you will be prosecuted for, cutting across her sidewalk or whatever to help panics her. So nothing is going to come out of it.
When Fox Security shows up on my doorstep with a walkie-talkie and keys, I should be frightened.
Yeah, I think that's basically where you are. And why can't they do a thing here at the radio station where you block certain phone calls would be better. If somebody came up with something where just like you can block people at home, you just put a blocker on it so they can't call you anymore. That would end the whole deal. That's all you got to worry about. Here is Joe. Joe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, first of all, I missed the right black. Oh, sorry. I missed the right black at your opening, but anyway, that's my idea. Sorry. Hey, anybody dumb enough to use a phone that can be traced back to you should be arrested. Nowadays, you can go to any Best Buy, buy a throwaway phone that works perfectly good, that can't be, there's no way they can find that it was you that had bought it. So anybody that uses their cell phone is a complete dumbass.
Thank you very much.
But why should you have to? To stay under the radar of the Fox police?
Fox Security, Fez. They're not actual police, but they do work with your local police force.
And they could make you a gone guy, and you may be in, let's say, big trouble.
Sounds like he came down from the mothership. No, he doesn't. Sounds like a guy's in trouble with Fox Security. Hey, Fat Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Fat Mike.
Buddy.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
I want to mention the fact that Bill O'Reilly's been doing this for about a year, and that's because he was getting a lot of phone calls about Bush, and most of them are negative. And, it spurred off to how he started that whole anti-happy holidays thing, and a lot of callers. Yeah, so he started doing that about...
He thought Christmas was disappearing.
Yeah, and he put a jihad on Walmart and Kmart and
right.
all
the war on Christmas.
Yeah, even though I could swear 4 months is spent celebrating Christmas in this country now, he felt like somehow Jesus was being left out of Christmas. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here's Jay. Jay, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, man, how y'all doing?
Good, buddy.
I miss that hypnotized Fez, I tell you.
Yeah, me too. He was the best.
Wasn't he, though? Anyway, the thing with Bill O'Reilly, he's got this fucking God complex. He thinks he's the best thing on the radio, and he's trying to send a fucking message that you can't mess with me. If you do, you're going to fucking pay. Could you imagine what would happen if the pest got a hold of him?
Exactly. And no matter what you say, I can't imagine that even harassing calls. And we've all had them. They're a fucking pain in the ass. But you don't call security. I remember one time because Billy used to call back Radio Shark all the time. And one time he put me on, I fucking screamed at him. But I can't send security to his house. I think I might have even told him. I might have did the exact same thing O'Reilly did. Because he gets you out of your fucking mind, that son of a bitch. But, other than that, I really don't think the Radio Shark's as big as he says he is. He just really doesn't have that kind of outreach program. Derek, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, what's up?
Hey, buddy.
Look, what I got to do to bridge the gap between y'all and Bill, because Bill's my idol, man. Y'all got to have to stop bashing him like that.
What is it you love about Bill O'Reilly?
He tells the truth.
All right, here's your idol telling the truth. Let's take another listen to Big Bad Bill O'Reilly.
Orlando, Florida. Mike, go.
Hey, Bill, I appreciate you taking my call.
Sure.
I like to listen to you during the day. I think Keith Olbermann's show.
There you go. Mike is he's a gone guy. We have your phone numbers, by the way. So if you're listening, Mike, we have your phone number, and we're going to turn it over to Fox Security, and you'll be getting a little visit.
Maybe Mike is from the mothership.
No, maybe Mike's going to get in big trouble, because we're not going to play around. When you call us, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we do have your phone number. And if you say anything untoward, obscene, or anything like that, Fox Security, then we'll contact your local authorities, and you will be held accountable. Fair?
That's fair.
So just all you guys who do this kind of a thing, you know, I know some shock jocks, whatever, you will be held accountable.
Does he think that phone callers are shock jocks? He thinks by making a call, you're a shock jock?
That's all it takes.
I know there's shock jock, crackheads doing stuff. I know you're out there playing your baseball and smoking cigarettes underneath the street light.
I like his sing-songy tattletale attitude. We have your phone number, and you may be in big trouble, and you'll be getting a visit.
Man, there's nothing worse than a bad call. Hagar, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
No bad call here, buddies. How you doing? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Ron, why'd you throw me under the bus? I didn't think my calls were too bad.
What a showstopper.
Alert security.
What a showstopper.
Shit.
Do you hear sirens? Because you will be in moments.
You will be prosecuted. You will be drugged down the street. And that'll be the end of you. Your family will never see you again. You know what? As a matter of fact, we're going to have your parents' house burnt down. That's how far we're going to go. We're going to come there. We're going to rape your sister. We're going to cut your dog's paws off. And then we're going to burn your parents' house down.
The strong arm of Fox is very long.
Yeah. You are not going to fuck around. You're not going to fuck around. Rocky, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you know, Fox Security, they don't get you for your phone call. You know, they have so much pull, they come after you for tax evasion.
They will. They'll get your ass for tax evasion. They'll get you for that. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, y'all shouldn't be surprised. You know, he hangs up on half the people he talks to anyway. I mean,
I don't really listen. We even followed him a couple times, and I couldn't even listen to him. Thank you, Steve. That was good. Here's Mark. Mark, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
I miss Flashdance Fez.
Flashdance Fez was great because he gave us a feeling, and oh, what a feeling.
He really did.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. Why hasn't Sean Hannity ever mentioned the Fox Security? And why is this the first jackass? I just think he's full of shit, this guy.
You're saying that you don't even think Fox Security exists?
That's exactly
it's just all in his mind?
It's the voices in his head.
Yeah.
They're the ones that carry him into the studio in his coffin every day. They guard it.
That's correct, sir.
All right, see you later. Hey, my favorite thing all day is Hagar couldn't take a joke. He's got the only name that I can remember because it's such a bad name, so I just throw it out there. I'm trying to think of Chronic's name, so I throw it out there. And instead of like going with the bit and calling and doing something, he's just like, hey, man, when am I going to be thrown under the bus? Shit. Fuck shit.
Way to defend a bad call, Hagar.
I hate this fucking show. Seriously. If I can give him everything, and this is the way I get treated. Shit.
Maybe I'll just turn myself into the Fox police.
I'm hoping that Harmonica gets on there. I don't think he can get by Fox Security. Even though, you know, technically he did a pretty good job of getting in here. I didn't think he would.
Maybe this is a job for his rival, the Radio Barracuda.
The Radio Barracuda. I forgot about it.
He's always saying he can one-up the Shark.
The Shark's old news. The Barracuda's here.
Let's face it. Has the Barracuda ever done anything that really stood out?
We got nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a way to make his bones.
Yeah. All right. All right, we'll take a break. Right back. Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez. XM 202.
Yeah, it's the Ron and Fez show. 9 days to a vacay, Earl?
Yes.
Next Thursday is our last day?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We wait a little too long this time?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll admit that, yes.
Yeah, so I don't want you to get into that position anymore. You know, we're supposed to take 5 weeks a year off. You know how long we took off in the first half year?
None.
Yeah. So we're heading into the end of March without even starting it yet.
It's crazy. So we're going to have to take a month off. We're going to have to take June off. So there you go.
Because I'm not going to lose it.
Yeah, that's crazy talk to lose it, Earl. You're out of your mind. All right, we got somebody on the phones to talk to here, Fez.
Yeah, this is Kurt, the Ventura Cowboy Mayor. He is with a group called the Patriot Guard Riders. Now, we also talked about the story about some of the funeral protests going on for servicemen killed in Iraq and Afghanistan being protested by the Westboro Baptist Church. That church group comes out there and protests and says they're glad that these soldiers got killed. They say that because the United States embraces homosexuality, that's why these soldiers are getting killed. Well, the Patriot Guard Riders with Kurt Mayer, they are a group of bikers that go out and protest the protesters. They take their cycles out there to these funerals, rev up the engines, and try to drown out the protests that are going on.
Now, is this helpful, Fez?
It seems to me like it just makes it louder, but we'll have to talk to Kurt Mayer about it.
All right, we got Kurt on the line right now. Kurt, welcome to the Ron and Fez show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the air. That pretty much blows away the stereotypes you might have had about churchgoers and bikers, doesn't it?
It really does, because now it seems like bikers like gays, churchgoers hate the country. The whole thing is pretty confusing. What is the organization that you're in? Did you guys exist before you decided to do these counter-protests?
Well, first of all, we're not a protest or a counter-protest group, and I think that'll become a little bit more evident in a minute. But no, we didn't exist until we started seeing media reports about this so-called church going to funeral services and just putting these messages out in front of these families. Hateful stuff, actually.
Yeah, we've had the woman on our show before.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and have you guys interacted with them at all? Have you talked? Do they taunt you? Do you guys taunt them?
Well,
what happens?
I learned pretty quickly on you can't argue with crazy, but no, we don't interact with them at all. As a matter of fact, when we go to a funeral, we're invited by the family to come to that funeral, and it's not because we're the brute squad or you got the image of a bunch of bikers coming to protect somebody. We're coming to primary mission is to go and honor and respect a fallen American hero, and that's why we're there. Whether there are protesters there or not, we go to every funeral of every fallen soldier if we're invited by the family to attend. So we're there as guests.
So the family contact you guys first, or do you call them and say, I know this is coming up, we know they're targeting you?
Well, both actually. They contact us and we contact them. We actually never bring up any outside disruptive groups coming up, because that would be really upsetting for a family. But some of the families call us and say, "Hey, a friend called and said we're looking at this website and we see what you guys do, and we're really impressed with that. We would just like you to come and honor our son or daughter."
And what do you guys do when you get there, the Patriot Guard Riders?
Well, we get there and we get off our motorcycles, and typically we line up someplace where we're near the hearse, and so when they bring the casket out, we give a final hand salute to this fallen American hero, and we have American flags that we hold. A lot of guys aren't vets, and they just put their hand over their heart. But it's just a respectful show of honor to a fallen soldier.
Now, you're a vet, Kurt?
Actually, I'm not. I'm kind of an anomaly. You don't have to be a vet to join. You can be a non-veteran like me. I feel like I'm serving my country now.
Yeah. Now,
you don't even have to have a motorcycle. As a matter of fact, you can come join us with a car.
You know, motorcycle clubs have changed quite a bit. When I was younger, in my neighborhood, it used to be the Pagan Motorcycle Club, and if they would have shown up, they would have stomped this woman in the church group. They would have stomped her.
Yeah, things have changed.
Yeah, you guys aren't into stomping at all.
Not at all. It's a totally peaceful, nonviolent, and it's not even that we've found a peaceful way to interact with any protest group. We don't interact at all.
You just try to drown them out?
Well, and we've been asked a few times if somebody would mind firing up a motorcycle or two. That's not something we really want to do, but we have been asked by family or even in a couple of cases by law enforcement if we could fire up a couple of bikes, because it was upsetting the children what these people were screaming.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, and there's been times when we've been asked if we have rather large flags we bring, and we've been asked before to hold the flags up a little higher so nobody could see those signs. But that's not our purpose. That's not our primary purpose for going there. But if asked to, we'll shield the family, working with the law enforcement with the family. But that's law enforcement's job to not only protect the family, but interestingly enough to protect the protesters.
Now, do you wear biker wear, or do you come funeral appropriate?
We look the part. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys look like big bikers.
Do rags and leathers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should see if my Vespa club wants to hook up with you guys.
Oh, you should. It's real easy to. We have a website. It makes it really easy.
What is the website?
It's www.patriotguard.org.
And you guys take donations and stuff to keep this going? I know you're making some really long road trips.
Yeah, we will. Down at the bottom of that page, there's a link down there to click to donate. And then at the top of the home page, between the American flags, it says click here to join, because that's where you would click to join. So.
All right, Fezzy, look who has just called us now.
Yeah, from the Westboro Baptist Church in Kansas, Shirley Phelps Roper.
Let's have Shirley on. Shirley, how are you? You're on the Ron and Fez show. Shirley. Hello, Shirley. I guess that wasn't her. All right, sorry about that, Kurt. I thought she had called in.
Okay.
So, do you guys have anything planned coming up next?
Yes, we were on 5 funeral missions Saturday, 4 the Friday before.
Wow.
4 missions today, 2 tomorrow.
And you guys will do this anywhere in the United States?
Anywhere in the United States, and in Guam, and in Puerto Rico as well.
How many servicemen are we losing a week now? Then.
I don't really know. I know that we're doing upwards of 10 or 11 funerals a week, but there's some weeks when we only have 3 or 4, and our growth has just been explosive. I think we've really kind of touched on some kind of patriotic nerve in America. We started with just a couple hundred guys and gals back in November, and we've got over 13,000 members now, 3 months later.
What is it, Earl? Hello? Yeah. Earl, what is it?
No, I'm sorry.
What do you got, Earl?
I don't want you to be sorry. What are you trying to say to us?
Oh, we have her on.
Who's her?
Shirley.
All right, Shirley from the GodHatesFags.com.
Exactly. That's her website from the Westboro Baptist Church.
Hey, Shirley.
Yes.
Hi, you're on the air with us. How are you? It's Ron and Fez again.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Shirley, we're talking with Kurt Mayer. I guess you see him around from time to time.
From the Patriot Guard Riders?
Well, I don't know if I'd know him, but we do see the Patriot Guard Riders around, and so since he's on here, I'd like to thank him kindly.
For what, Shirley?
Well, since the Patriot Guard Riders came on the scene, starting way back early on, I don't know if he was were you in Chelsea, Oklahoma?
I was not.
You were not. I mean, we were hearing a lot of disrupting the funerals, blah, blah, this and that, and the next thing I know, I'm standing in Chelsea, Oklahoma. And it was awesome, because this is a kind of a small town, and all over this town, the Patriot Guard Riders made sure that all eyes were on the signs, because they revved those engines until the ground literally shook. And so, of course, everybody's going to be looking at that. And I have to laugh also. You guys need to get a little clear thinking going on there. You say, we're going to go out there and we're going to make all that noise and block those signs. You understand, guys, those are different senses. You see with your eyes, you hear with your ears. All the noise in Christendom will not block the words from the signs. So you got to work on that a little. But meanwhile, though, thank you very kindly.
All right, so Kurt and Shirley, you guys feel like somehow there's a kinship, I guess, huh?
Well, those guys, they really also need to work on that name. They are definitely not patriots. These guys claim that they're patriots, but they're unpatriotic for 2 reasons. The first one is because if they were patriots, they would protect the interest of this country, and you do that at this hour by serving the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. You do not continue to flip off that God who is killing your children. The second reason they're not patriotic is because they claim that those soldiers have died. This is their claim, not mine. Yeah. I know my rights flow from the Lord my God, but they claim that those soldiers are fighting to protect our freedoms. And today, they are spitting on and stomping on the graves of those soldiers. How unpatriotic and how unworthy.
Let's give Kurt
on their graves by running around this country trying to get this nation to pass laws to shred the First Amendment to pieces.
All right, hold on. Kurt, do you,
what can you say to all of that?
Yeah.
Well, but to address the First
just
Amendment,
say guilty as charged.
the First Amendment rights are given to us to give us a voice to say pretty much whatever we want, no matter how vile or disgusting the message is.
Right.
However vulgar somebody thinks that message is, we have a right to say those messages.
Yes,
however,
I think you guys
the
are pretty
First Amendment
vulgar.
gives us the right to say a message, but there is a time and a place for messages, and at a funeral is neither a time nor a place. Just like you wouldn't yell fire inside of a theater, and
oh please,
and
you're going to equate standing on a public sidewalk, which is exactly what the First Amendment drafters intended. And the Supreme Court says the public streets and rights of way are held in trust for robust public debate. And this guy on this phone knows doggone well that these impotent, lame laws that they're passing will not be any different. He knows, like in Wheeler, Texas, for instance, where we were a block and a half away from the funeral. A block and a half. There isn't any law that anyone's trying to pass that's going to keep us away. You understand that we have delivered the message as soon as the news release went out, as soon as the Patriot Guard riders put on their website, we are going to be there to protect that family. It's too late. The words have already gone forth. They've already received the message. All you're saying is we want to try to do something to make you stop saying that this soldier is in hell and that he died for a fag nation, fighting for a fag army, and that he has been dispatched to hell by a raging mad God.
Now, Kurt,
that's what they want to do, is to stop those words.
Kurt, is this the stuff that the mother of the fallen soldier is hearing and the family is hearing?
That's exactly right. Only in a much louder voice and often right in somebody's face.
How many?
Only when the mother comes out to shake my hand, grabs all. You could see it on CNN. Mm-hmm. She came right out, took my hand to shake my hand. She wouldn't let go. So what am I supposed to do at that hour except to tell her plainly, you sent that child to hell. You taught him that God was a liar. You taught him how to be an adulterer. Now it's not too late for you. And if you would just crack a Bible and read Luke 16, you would know that today, that even though you failed that child,
right,
he wants us here, and he wants you to listen.
But surely a lot of these, like Kurt, are you a Christian? Is that your background?
I am, as a matter of fact.
He's not a Christian. Anyone can say they are, but the question is, and the Lord Jesus Christ said, you draw nigh unto me with your lips, but your heart is far from me. And the Lord Jesus Christ also say that if you say, Lord, Lord, no. If you say that you know me and you don't keep my commandments, then you are a liar and the truth is not in you.
Right.
That's what the Lord Jesus Christ said.
But you don't even know.
They say they're a Christian, but they're not a Christian because they do not obey.
But you don't even know Kurt. You don't.
I know him by his words and his deeds. Of course I know him. I know him because he's contending with us. He hasn't yet wrapped his arms around the notion that as they stand over there saying, God bless America, they have brought God into the discussion, and they have brought his word into the discussion, and that very God said, if you obey, it's not rocket science, guys.
What commandments are they breaking?
I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you will obey the commandments of the Lord your God, and a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God.
Sure.
But although there's people that would love for you to stop your message, that is not our intent.
Yes, it is. You don't need to lie to us, hon. You don't need to lie to us. We know what your intent is. You want this message off the landscape.
Shirley, let me finish, please. It's not an intent to stop your message. It's to move it to an appropriate time and place.
Too bad.
No, hold on. You wouldn't go into an airport and anywhere near where they're screening for things and start
because we stand on the public streets, you clown. Don't you get it? Of course we don't go in an airport because we obey the law. The law says public streets, public rights of way.
Yeah, let me give you a parallel here, okay? You're walking up to a screener at an airport and you start.
We don't go to screeners at airports where people are captive. We don't do that. We go in the public rights of way.
No,
public
you're not
streets. I don't know how many times I can say that before you quit trying to put us someplace where we don't belong.
No,
we don't go into the schools. Our children don't go in and try to shove our religion down anyone's throat. We leave our religious message where the the founding fathers intended for it to be, and furthermore, the scriptures talk about it being there. Wisdom crieth in the streets and uttereth her voice. We are going to be on the streets because the world is our parish, and because our duty is to love our neighbor as ourselves, and the scripture says you do that by warning them that their sin is taking them to hell, and if you don't do that, you hate your neighbor in your heart. The Lord Jesus Christ sent his disciples into the streets.
All right, Cheryl, we got your things. So, Kurt, you're just your group there now.
The Patriot Guard Writers, patriotguard.org.
Is just a chance to kind of stay in between them and the families of the fallen soldiers?
If somebody asks us to, we go to the funerals of all fallen soldiers.
Just to pay respects.
To pay respect, whether there's a group there or not. And if law enforcement or a family asks us to fire up a few motorcycles or hold up flags, then we'll do that. But that's not our intent. And I really want to come back to the point I was trying to make. If I went to an airport, and near the screener...
Well, stop that.
Please.
You're breaking the law.
Please.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
Please. If I went and did and went to these screeners and I started in a loud voice started discussing my abilities to make bombs and how much I love bombs and everybody needs to be into bombs.
He's trying to make a parallel between us talking to you about the Word of God and him talking to an airport screener about making a bomb?
No, I'm trying.
You were going to call that a parallel? I call that perversion. I call you warped. I call you, that's what you'd like to do, is to say that we're criminals like what you're describing. We stand peacefully on the public sidewalks, the public rights-of-way, and we deliver the Word of God to you, and you don't like it. That's why you're trying to call us a criminal.
I'm talking about time and place, ma'am. I'm talking about time and place.
You are describing things that are unlawful. It is unlawful for you to go to an airport screener and talk about making a bomb, and you know it. And you know that we do not do that, and in fact that we are peaceful and lawful. You know it. Even when your criminal thugs, calling themselves Patriot Guard Riders, lay their hands on our peaceful members, and then some of your thugs came to a little girl, a little 20-year-old slight slip of a nothing, 100 pounds soaking wet, and took the flag she was standing on, your big thugs, your big, brute, burly thugs, 4 of them, and ripped that flag out from underneath her feet in Wheeler, Texas, sending her falling. That was a crime. And then your thugs stole 2 of our flags.
Shirley,
that was a crime.
Your friend, this little tiny thing, she was just standing there on a flag, minding her own business.
Exactly.
And they came by and picked the flag up.
Those thugs, calling themselves the Patriot Guard Riders, came squirreling around, about 150 or 200 of them.
Shirley,
I'm happy for them to be there. They draw attention to the message. They need to keep their thieving hands off our property and off our people.
So what do you do to protect yourself then, Shirley? Is there lawsuits involved, or what happens?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Why would we waste our time doing that? Can you imagine if we sued every jackass that committed a crime against us? That's all we'd be doing. We decided a long time ago that we were either going to sue you or preach to you, and that's without question. The only time we're going to sue is if the government interferes with our capacity to cause America to know her abominations. And that's what they're about the business of doing. And by the way, you guys need to get serious about this law stuff. You need to get Barney Fagg and Tammy Baldwin, the 2 chief perverts in chief at Congress, to get you a law going in the United States Congress.
Yeah.
Do that.
What do you call Barney Frank? You call him Barney
Fagg.
Good one. So you took the Frank name and switched it to Fagg.
That's exactly right, because it's appropriate.
You know what? I feel...
You're not going to suggest he's not a fag, are you?
No, I think he's probably a gay man.
And he's a pushy fag.
Yeah. Now, Kurt seems like...
and that's a very educated opinion when it comes to push.
Well, why don't you ask Barney Fagg? Are you pretending, Mr. Patriot Guard Rider, that you don't know that Barney Frank is a out-of-the-closet fag, pushing the fag agenda as fast and furious?
I'm just saying
that's why this country's going to hell, because dummies like you sitting around going, oh, that's educated.
But Shirley, here's the thing. You seem like a nice person.
Yeah.
And I just want to find some common ground here, if we could.
Okay.
What if we just made a couple of concessions, just a couple of small changes to the Bible, so it would be easier for everybody to everybody could follow along.
Listen to you. Here's the verse for you, hon.
Uh-huh.
If you would take forth the precious from the vile, God told Jeremiah.
Or what if we change that to, hey, live and let live?
The precious from the vile, then you shall be as my mouth. We do not serve you. We do not serve the flesh. We serve God. He's not here to parlay with you. He's not here to negotiate or compromise. We are here to do our job to faithfully deliver the words that you find in the Scriptures, because otherwise we are just like you. We do not serve God in that hour. We are going to serve God, and we are going to be faithful to the written word. I had a law professor that would say, when it comes to the written words, don't think great thoughts. Read the words. We read the words, and Isaiah said it best.
Right.
To the law and to the testimony, if you speak not according to this word.
Yeah, I give Kurt a chance.
All right.
So Shirley, so you say that God's angry at America, and God is
furious, raging. That'd be the better. Smoke coming from his nostrils is one of the descriptions in the Scriptures.
Sounds like the devil.
Never a good
So
day.
where I'm confused is
you better be careful there.
Yeah, why I'm
talking
confused
about God and the devil in the same breath. Go ahead.
Why I'm confused is why you guys are still hanging around. If he's that angry, then I think you ought to pick another country to move to.
I am so glad you raised that point, because I've given that a lot of thought. In fact, I wrote it in my epic to Anoka. It's a very good. That issue comes up so regularly. Every dumbass and his brother wants to go, well, if you hate America, then go to Iraq.
Now you're
some other unoriginal statement. And here's
Saddam's
the
not
answer
there
for
anymore,
you.
So I don't think you're welcome in Iraq, because Saddam's not there.
We've been to Iraq, and we've held up our signs in Iraq. But setting that aside, here's the answer. The first answer, there's two. The first one is, we are exactly where the Lord our God put us, so that we can, in these last of the last days, deliver this message to this nation. You are going to hell, and there's nothing you can do about it. But the second and more important thing that you better wrap your mind around while you're being a smart aleck suggesting we should get out, think this. When Noah went onto the ark, when Lot left Sodom, when Moses left Egypt, when Jeremiah got done with Judah, when Isaiah got done with Israel, any one of those places, what happened to those places?
When Peter Gabriel left Genesis.
Bad things.
Exactly. The condign wrath of God, unmixed, poured out on those people, and it was to their destruction. Don't be so glib, you smart aleck. Do you think that pattern arises?
So we need you for our safety.
Because of a chance when the Lord God is done with a nation and he is through sending his servants rising early. You guys are you wouldn't ask these goofy questions and have these goofy ideas.
Fez is
if
a
you
Lutheran.
would crack a Bible.
Yeah.
Read about it. He says, I send my messengers rising up early.
All right,
God had compassion
let's
on
let
you
Kurt.
and sent his messengers
Kurt was
early.
the guest today. Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, but you mocked the messengers of God.
Well,
you despised his words,
Fez,
and you
not me.
misused his prophets.
This is an interesting tactic, just to shout someone down. But
No, I'm just answering your question.
All right, go ahead, Kurt.
I see.
I just need to complete the answer, that's all.
It was good, though. Everybody liked it.
Finish with your answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you liked it, didn't you?
Yeah, it was great.
Kurt Mayer's with us from the Patriot Guard Riders.
I got a little scared with the salt part, but other than that, I was fine. Kurt, does this take place at the church or also at the cemetery?
I have never seen any protesters at a cemetery.
So just mainly at the church?
That would be at a church or a funeral home.
Well, there's been a couple of times where the funeral home and the cemetery are right up next to each other.
Well, that's even more despicable then. Okay.
Okay, yeah, whatever. There
whatever.
You go. There's where it all hangs out. It's where your opinion, your decision about what's despicable. Well, guess what?
That's cool.
You better line your
about
thinking
America
up with
is that I
God's
can have my own opinion, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm glad for you to have that opinion. But what you demonstrate, you said I don't know you. I do know you by your opinions, by the things that you opine. I know that you don't serve God, and that your notions of right and wrong are contrary to his, and that you thereby demonstrate that you're going to hell, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Shirley, was 9/11 like a really happy day for you?
9/11 was so awesome. I stood in amazement watching those things happen, and my mind was going. I was thinking,
she was so happy she almost fell off her flag. She was so happy.
This is a watershed event, and then we promptly began to write our songs. Yeah. Oh, wicked land of sodomites, your World Trade Center's gone. With crashing flames and burning, with crashing planes and burning flames to hell their souls have flown. America, America, God showed his wrath to thee. He's cursed this land with his own hand and showed his sovereignty. And we commenced to sing in that song from that day to this, all over this nation. And we've written many other verses to go with the funerals, wherever we're going, we take that that song that you call your patriotic.
Right. Well, I like. It's not as good as the Pope song, but
yeah. Yeah, but, and we got another one that we wrote for the miners, and now I've been adjusting it. It's awesome because you're in West Virginia when you go to the miners.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about the miners.
So that's a good one.
Kurt, tell people if they want to join your group, how they get there.
They just go to our website, patriotguard.org.
Uh-huh.
At the top, there's 2 American flags. Click right in between there and follow the process there, and that's how you join up.
All right.
And they need to add one little thing up there to it. They need to say, "This way to hell." And that would make it more truthful.
Shirley, what about your group? If anybody wants to, when's the last time you had a new person join? Does it happen often?
A new person join?
Yeah.
A new person join? Are you kidding me? We're in the last of the last days.
Right.
Too soon. The last time a little family came here and came from Florida to this church.
Right.
That was the last and the only time.
So
this is the last of the last.
As you're spreading your word, this word of peace and love of Jesus Christ,
exactly,
you're not being able to pick up many people joining in.
You're so funny. Don't you understand? Noah went onto that ark after 120 years of spreading he preached the gospel. 120 years he delivered the exact same message that we're delivering. He did it to the 16 billion people living in the antediluvian world. When he went on the ark, he went on with his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives.
Yeah.
So he really didn't convince anyone either, and that is not the litmus test.
Just the fan.
Exactly. It is the fact. It is the gospel. And if you had any sense, you'd run from that Patriot Guard rider. You'd run, not walk, run from his look, he's got a policy of hell.
Right. All right. Kurt, thank you so much.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You forgot my website.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead and plug your website.
It's the GodHatesFags.com website and God Hates America, but we put a new website up, and it's so awesome.
Joining.
It's thesignsofthettimes.net. No, not join, hon. It's read. Read the words.
Right.
It condemns you in the day of judgment.
All right, so we're all going to be condemned. Anybody going to heaven besides you and your family?
You know that there are people in heaven, and of course, I know that like Abraham's there, and I know that Moses is there, and I know that Lot is there,
and George Washington.
I know. Where do you get that goofy
I hope Don Knotts is.
George Washington?
What about Don Knotts?
Basis to say Don Knotts, of course not.
Oh, jeez.
Did you ever hear Don Knotts warn anyone that their sin was taking him to hell?
What about Chris Penn? Nice guy Eddie.
Who?
Nice guy Eddie from Reservoir Dogs?
No.
You had to be
same
last
test,
night.
son. You got to serve God.
Yeah.
Do you have any basis to believe that those people serve the Lord their God with all their heart and all their soul and all their might? Did you ever see him standing on a street in this God-forsaken nation with a sign that says America is doomed? You've sinned away your day of grace?
Kurt?
Yes?
I'm going to give you guys a couple days to do this, and then I'm going to call in the pagans and let them, old style, stomping.
Good luck with that. Remember, we serve the God who knows all your thoughts and all your deeds.
I know.
And he watches our back.
He's mysterious.
Had to be excited about Brokeback losing last night.
No, America is Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, I know. All right, Kurt, thanks.
Oh, wait, did you say it lost?
Yeah, it did not win. Crash won.
Well, that's shocking.
Yeah, see?
Shocking. I'm shocked.
You need to stay up later. Yeah, we should have you do movie reviews. We'll send you out to different films.
I ain't watching none of that crap.
I know you were not.
All right, hon.
All right, take care of all your babies. How many you got?
You. 11.
11 babies.
And 2 grandbabies.
And take us out with the Pope song, would you, Shirley?
The Pope. Come on, girls, quick.
Go grab the kids, yeah.
Get everybody together, and the little guy, too.
Yeah, the little... Yeah.
Hold on, we have to sing the Pope. Who is that? It's Megan. Okay, come on, Lukey, hurry. The Pope. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to help us, Meg? You're going to help us. We got our guys that are out at a picket in Flint, Michigan. They're going to help us, too.
All right, good.
On their speaker. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready, girls? Okay. 1, 2, 3. The Pope! The Pope! The Pope is on fire! He don't get no water, let that heretic burn! First he was a liar, now he's on fire! He don't get no water, let that heretic burn!
All right, thanks, Shirley.
Thank you.
That was really rocking.
Guys. Have a nice day.
Kurt, how do you do it, buddy? How do you seriously do it?
It's by the grace of God.
I mean, you must really feel like you're looking at the devil when you see that.
Well, I didn't want to stir this up any bigger than it was, but I couldn't get any words in edgewise.
I know.
Anyways, but I really wanted to say that I do read my Bible, and I read in Ephesians 4:29 where it talks about words coming out of your mouth that are helpful and that are kind to people, not the bitterness and anger and rage that's coming out of their mouths. But the other part that's scary is I read Revelations. I think I recognize them in there.
I know, man. I know they're like a horror. And you know what was when they sing that horrible Pope song? They hear the little baby singing along, just like trying to keep up. Like when you try to teach kids like little songs to sing, you see that he's just trying to be part of the family. Wow, they're a bizarre bunch.
Well, let me tell you what. In Guyman, Oklahoma, tomorrow there's a funeral for a soldier, and that town's not real pleased about their announcement of the protesters' announcements of appearing. And I'd really caution them whether they should bring any children in that environment, because I think the folks in that part of Oklahoma think that if you put a child in the middle of that's endangering a child.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the other thing. They say they're all lawyers. Supposedly. That whole clan is
only 10 of them are. 10 of the 13 children are lawyers.
Wow, just bizarre. And to see, I mean, the thing is, she does have faith in the terms of she is 100% sure what she's saying is true.
Yeah,
100% true.
That's scary. That's scary.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about faith. All right, Kurt, thanks very much for being on the show. Plug the website again if anybody wants to help these guys out. They tried to stand in between these maniacs and the families of the fallen soldiers.
www.patriotguard.org, and right at the top you can join right where it says that freedom is not free but membership is.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kurt.
It ought to say go straight to hell on the top of it. But here's the weird thing. When she starts to call her daughters in, it's kind of hot. I don't know what it is. It's like an old fucking farmer's joke or something. Girls, get in here and sing mean songs about the Pope.
I keep picturing the 20-year-old knocked off her flag.
I know. No bigger than it. She's all soaking wet. She's just standing there on the flag, and you idiots came over and yanked the flag out like a magic trick and made her fall down.
Took her pins out from under.
All she was doing was standing on the flag, and you stole 2 of our flags that we were preparing to urinate on. But she is fired up. She does know her Bible, and to me, she's the best Baptist I've ever met in my life. Earl, that's your religion.
Yes, it's my religion, but she does
it's
not
exactly what you hear in your church every Sunday, just a little louder.
No, not at all.
Yes. If I went into your church, Earl, on a Sunday, I wouldn't hear one different thing than that crazy talk.
Earl, could you beat her in Bible trivia?
Oh, God, no.
No. Here's the thing. Loser has to step off their flag. Loser has to step off the flag.
She knows the Bible and the Constitution really well. She has both of them memorized.
2 pieces of trouble. Hey, Marty, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, buddy.
All right, cool. Well, I'm in the military, right? And I'm also a Christian. But where in the hell does she get off fucking saying that she can judge everyone else and we're all going to fucking hell?
Bible.
Why don't we just let everyone live?
Bible, my friend. That's in that Bible that...
Judge not, lest ye be judged. What's up with that?
That's one of the problems with the Bible is that whatever you say, there's something else in there.
It is so full of loopholes.
Yeah, it is just flipping back and forth.
I'm ashamed to call myself like a Christian to be put into the same group as them because they want to give Christians a bad name.
But this,
and then they're the military, that just really pisses me off that they're right at their fucking funerals and shit. These people served their country and died for everyone's fucking rights to live and
gays'
breathe.
rights. What she thinks is that you're over there fighting for gay sex agendas. It's really bizarre. It is a reason for all you guys to stay alive, just not to have this happen at your own funeral.
Yeah, no kidding. Let me tell you.
Thank you very much. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. It is amazing that a bunch of brothers and buddies haven't spun out of a church and just started fucking throwing hands and feet at one of these things. They've got to be really careful that a bunch of, and I'll just say it, innocent people don't get caught at a bad time and do something horrible. You know what I'm saying? Because you get in that fucked up zone of being at a funeral and somebody starts yelling shit from across the street, you could snap.
That was one of the questions I wanted to ask Kurt. Was there any physical confrontations? They have to really train their guys to say, "Hey, look, be respectful."
It's like being around retarded people. You cannot sit there and try to work something out with it or be offended. You know, it's just bizarre.
You just try to grab a flag that's on the ground every once in a while.
All right, on the ground, Fezzy, but someone can't be standing on that, using that to try to get something high off the cupboard. It seemed like she just had the flag all wadded up, standing on top of it. And then, legally, I don't know, I guess you're allowed to do that. But you do understand that somebody's going to go and grab it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like if you started walking down the street with a cross, and then you rub dung all over that cross as you carry it. It may be technically your cross, but someone is going to take that cross off of you. Then you have to expect it. And that's what happened with the flag deal. At some point, you can't just keep taunting people forever, and there's going to be problems to pay.
I always remember Appy Hoffman, he would wear the American flag shirt.
Yeah.
And guys would, those really hardline conservative guys always tried to tear the shirt off. They thought he was desecrating the flag.
Yeah, but, at the same time, Gene Autry wore the same shirt. No one ever ripped the shirt off of him, so it's very bizarre. It's weird who you're saying can wear a flag shirt and who can't. All right, we'll take a break here. We're back in a few moments. It's the Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez. XM 202.
That's the Ron and Fez Show. That Shirley can light the phone up. I think the phone's shut down a couple of times, even though we weren't taking any calls at all. Shirley, what's the name of her group, Fez?
She's from the Westboro Baptist Church, which I guess is just her and the rest of the Phelps-Roper Church family.
But that's Baptist, so they are tied in with Earl and all those type of people. Now, the guy that she was talking to may be the kindest biker I've ever met in my life. Bikers have changed. I remember bikers where if you walked into a bar, Fezzy, and they were in there, you very kind of did a little U-turn and headed back out the other way.
Kurt Mayer, he's from the Patriot Guard Riders.
They have set themselves up where they are going to be around to kind of support the family if these maniacs show up and start to scream that the child that a lot of these women just lost in Iraq, whether it happens to be a husband or the parents are there, not hearing that their kid is in hell burning forever. Hey, Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. First, I like saying I've never called a radio show in my life, but I'm a veteran, but I'm also a real biker, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And no disrespect to these people. They're doing whatever they're doing is great, but this lady here just lit me up so bad. I mean, I don't know what her agenda is. I don't like fags either. But I'll tell you what, that's their problem, but I don't put it against the military. But I'm a real biker, and I'll tell you what, if these families want somebody to come and hang out with them during these funerals and talk to these people, I'll come and talk to them. I guarantee you, I will come talk to this family. I don't have a problem at all with it.
Yeah, I think this...
I'll give up my spot in heaven for it. I'll guarantee you that right now.
I know. I could just see these people being drugged down the fucking street.
I mean,
behind bikes
right now, and I was so goddamn mad. I had to pull over and make this phone. And I've never called a radio show in my life. I'm literally just incensed. I
understand.
Crazy.
But that's religion for you. That's my problem with faith. Earl, I know that you get pissed at that talk, but my problem with faith is this. When you believe something that's invisible and believe it like it's in the here and now, you fuck up your thinking on this planet.
No, but there's another side to faith. You can have the belief in your head, but you have to do something about it to make it happen. You know what I mean?
All you people think you know who's going to hell and who's going to heaven. You all sit in your own kind of judgment.
What?
There's no doubt about it.
But her church doesn't even bring in new members. That's the whole thing.
Neither did Noah. Neither did Noah.
But that's the thing.
No room on the ark.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm
thing.
not politically correct, bikers. I'll tell you what. I don't know who's going or who's not going to heaven.
Yeah.
but I'll send somebody somewhere if they want to go.
All right, I know you will. I know. You're going to close somebody out. All right, thank you very much, Jim.
Thanks, guys.
Check out patriotguard.org.
Yeah. Hey, Doug. Doug, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, I'm a pagan, and this woman just infuriates me. It's what people like that made me run away from the Christian church screaming. You know, the pagans at least teach that you can have your faith and let others have theirs too.
Which to me should be any real faith. I don't care which one it is. As soon as you start going, no, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, all that shit, it's a pain in the ass.
Right, and with pagans, I'm a Wiccan specifically. We believe it's a nature-based religion.
Whatever. Okay,
You know.
All right. Go love a tree. I don't care, one way or another. It's just more nutty talk to me.
And that's the other part. She's the one that's always quoting scripture and anything. One of the scriptures in the Bible is, hey, you warn the person once. If they don't,
do me a favor. Anytime that you start to fucking quote a book that wasn't even written by the guy that you say that you worship, I don't understand it whatsoever.
No, but here's the point I'm trying to make is that they say, hey, you warn the person once,
whatever.
And then you
Earl,
move
you
on your
sound like, when you start to quote that book, to me you sound exactly like her. I don't hear the difference. I hear one person screaming one thing out of a book, another person has the same book that they're screaming something else. A third person will say something else. At some point, do you say to yourself, this book is not specific enough for us?
No, it's just people who take that quote and completely misinterpret it.
Thank you. You're doing it right now.
How do you know who
Every
has the
one of you
misinterpretation?
fuckers does it. Every one of you that holds that book up saying, I have the answer. Same thing that she has. That's my problem with it. Here is Zach. Zach, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Zach, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, guys, I just wanted to agree. I'm glad you had the nut lady on there because I think it just supports their cause. I've been in the military 16 years, and I guess that's why you're there, is to defend ignorant people's points of view like that lady.
Yeah, when you're over there in the military, you're defending all kinds of stuff that you probably don't agree with.
There's not much you can do with that.
Now, the thing is, she is our new movie reviewer. I want to start and hear her review more films.
Hellraiser is one I'd like to get her take on.
I can't wait till she does V for Vendetta in a couple of weeks. Here is Jason. Jason, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, I'm a veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom, and my buddies got shot down while I was over there. And if I had seen these people at their funeral, there would have been bloodshed, but it wouldn't have been what she wanted.
You know, that is the other thing, too, is that all these funerals will have a full color guard there, too, from the military.
Yeah, totally, as they're showing up at the funeral homes and the churches.
So all these young guys have to sit there and listen to all this shit being screamed. Why? Let's face it, when it's your family, whoever that person happens to be, and it's happening funeral after funeral, you love that person. It's the last thing you need to hear is the word hell coming up. That's got to get to you a little bit. All right, Fezzy, the two folks that we had on, the first guy was a biker who was actually his segment.
Yeah, Kurt Mayer from the Patriot Guard Writers, and his website is patriotguard.org.
Patriotguard.org, patriotguard.org. You can join these guys to show up at some funerals. Also, they're taking a little money to help out a little bit, you know, it costs gas. And then we had Crazy Shirley.
Shirley Phelps Roper from the Westboro Baptist Church. Couple of websites for her. GodHatesFags.com, GodHatesAmerica.com, and thesignofthetimes.net is her latest one.
You weren't getting that through your headphones?
I heard it, but I don't think I heard it as loud as you did.
Mine was like a blast. Last night was the big Oscars, Fezzy. We talked about this earlier. Jon Stewart taking a pummeling today. A pummeling in the press.
Bad reviews everywhere, online, in the papers, saying that, you know, he was disconnected from his audience, all kinds of bad things about Jon Stewart.
You and I watched the show together last night. We were laughing. We thought it had a nice, fast pace about it. So we saw a completely different Oscars that most of these reviewers does. Now, I didn't think that it was fabulous and the best thing ever, and, you know, I wasn't wiping tears out of my eyes, but I did feel like the guy did a great job as an MC.
Yeah, and I thought there would be one decent review of him today. Standing by, we got Christine Eads in Hollywood from her show Broad-Minded. That plays on XM Channel 155.
She was out there last night, Fezzy, hanging and banging, and we'll get the feel from L.A. How you doing, Christine?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Now, did you hear us talking about that the reviews came in and they were kind of anti-Jon Stewart?
I'm surprised by that.
Yes, so am I.
I thought that he did a great job. I mean, there were moments. I mean, I thought his, opening monologue might have been a little weak, but I thought he did great.
Yeah. What about the people in L.A.? Do you think that they were happy with the entire award shows?
They were very happy with it. And
yeah.
I was sitting on stage left, and that's where he would do his entrance and exits, and he was really excited about how the show was going and happy with his performance, and he was looking forward to it ending and having a beer, is what he was saying, but he was happy with everything that was going on.
Oh, so you're watching Jon Stewart come in and off when other people are up. And what is he doing then? Is he checking in with writers? What happens? What goes on backstage?
He goes back and forth, and he kind of checks in with the stage manager on the script and everything, and then he's talking to the talent as they're coming back and forth. But really, he just goes and gets makeup touch-up and hair to they kind of attack him as he comes off stage, and then he goes back on.
So you think he's going to be pretty surprised when he reads the reviews?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I thought that he did a great job.
All right. The other thing I noticed, George Clooney couldn't be loved anymore out there in L.A., huh?
I know. Everybody loves him, and...
Whoops, we lost her? All right, she just got cut off from us. Try her back again. Overall, Fezzy, it seems like was a little bit down in the ratings, but not as much as it was a couple of years ago. Academy Awards last night, which we said number 2 most watched show.
Right, yeah, right behind the Super Bowl.
Hey, Jack, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah.
How you doing today?
Yeah.
Hey, I got 2 things. One, forget Stewart. Billy Crystal's the man.
Well, he didn't want to do the show. He was offered the opportunity to do that.
Okay. Well,
give us 2. Yeah.
When is Earl going to hand in his black card?
All right, thank you very much. Earl, you don't have to hear that. Not on a post-Oscar day.
And you don't have to hand it in either.
Yeah, not on a day where the band that you started and produced for a while, 3-6 Mafia, found themselves standing there on the Oscar podium last night.
The Academy Award winning.
Yeah, get that up instead of just sitting there, Dave. Get that up, and then we talk to Christine.
Academy Award winner.
Yeah.
3-6 Mafia. That's weird to say. Much less
They'll always be known.
I got news for you. I'd never even heard of them before. I had never heard of the 3-6 Mafia before last night. Christine, sorry we got cut off from you, darling.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry about that.
What was the big surprise of the night? Was it the 3-6 Mafia, or was it the ending of the show with Crash?
It was definitely the ending of the show.
Yeah.
And I was in a room, inside the house, kind of where all the bars are and stuff, and people coordinate there because they can drink, because you can't drink inside the house.
Uh-huh.
And everybody was really surprised that it ended up being Crash. They thought it was going to be Brokeback Mountain.
Jack Nicholson was taken by surprise.
Yes, he was, wasn't he?
It was pretty much a scream that ran through the whole place, and maybe the show needed that, even though I wasn't the biggest Crash fan. For a TV show moment, it's really great when something unexpected happens.
I agree, and, for finally, usually the Oscars, one movie kind of takes over, but this one, that didn't happen.
Right.
The awards were kind of sprinkled around, which I thought was nice.
Yeah. So you were at the after parties, right?
We were. We kind of hung out. I was in the house and backstage and kind of hanging out with everybody. Walked over to the governor's ball for a little bit. So, saw some celebrities, but not too much after the show.
Yeah. This is where Wolfgang Puck sets up the food?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything looked great at his last night, except for those salmon Oscars that were standing up. An Oscar made out of fish looked really unappetizing
I was starving for that, seriously.
Really?
I wanted to eat,
you guys wanted that?
I wanted to eat 3 or 4 salmon Oscars. Now, did you nibble on any of the food, Christine?
Very little because I was crashing the party, you guys.
Oh, is that right? So you're just running.
Yeah.
Now, have you slept at all since last night?
I have. I slept a little bit,
Yeah.
3 hours.
What was the best part of the parties for you? What was something that was really exciting for you?
Well, I mean, I think Jessica Alba is so gorgeous, and with all the hubbub around the whole Playboy issue with her.
Right.
So, I mean, that was interesting, and it was nice to meet her. But also Matt Dillon is just amazing, and he was kind of by himself. And
with him, all I see is Johnny Drama, his more well-known brother. I'm just going, hey, Johnny Drama's brother's there.
That's rough when you're the better-known brother and you get passed up.
For some reason, Matt. Dylan talks
well,
like
he
this.
was interesting to watch to kind of see him with the ladies, but Jack Nicholson, of course, who was the ultimate flirt. He was flirting backstage with Nicole Kidman, and she was blushing. Oh, by the way, she had a ring on, and Keith Urban was nowhere to be found.
So
he was not there.
So what do you make of that? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if they're married or just engaged, but it was a big old rock.
Wow.
That she had on.
There you have it, Fezzy.
Keith Urban big enough to buy that rock, or did she have to get it herself?
No, he's a big star.
He's big?
No.
Yeah, I think he's big enough, but, she's not hurting for money either.
Yeah, I know. She's got her own bucks. All right, Christine. Anything else you want to plug that happened out there? Anything else got you excited?
It was just really great. While we were out there, we also got a chance to, on Broad-Minded, we do analyze the heck out of American Idol. So we're all American Idol fans, and I got a chance to sit down and talk to Ryan Seacrest before the red carpet. So that was nice, and he gave, he talks about American Idol and all the stuff that he's doing.
Oh, yeah,
so
Seacrest does the backstage with the E-Entertainment, right?
He does.
Yeah.
He just started sang with them, so he's going to do that.
Yeah, I heard.
Ted Casablanca does the walk-off, after the people get the Oscar.
He's an odd guy.
Talk to him, too.
He's an odd guy, right?
He's very sweet, but yes, he is. But his column is great. Do you read The Awful Truth?
Yeah, we had him on the show one time, and he kept trying to make us guess who he was writing about. I'm like, you're going to have to tell us.
I don't know.
Because we don't understand who was canoodling.
Yeah, what is a blind item? Is that something you can't do or say? I don't understand it. Someone did something to someone else. What do you think?
Know.
Yeah.
He's great, though.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. All right, Christine, when you heading back?
I'm on a red eye tonight, so I'll be back in Washington tomorrow.
All right. Well, Tom Shales was one of the guys who really slammed Jon Stewart right off the bat.
I got to read all that stuff.
Yeah, you have to check into it. Yeah. All right.
Will.
All right, Christine. Safe trip, honey.
Thanks, you guys.
All
Have
right.
a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Christine.
Bye.
Christine Eads from Broad-Minded on XM, channel 155. You can hear that a little bit later on this afternoon.
What's Broad-Minded, Fez? Is that like a ladies' show?
Yeah, exactly.
Something for the gals? One of your favorite shows you listen to? Gal Talk?
A little she said.
Mm-hmm.
Going on there.
Chance for the gals to dish it up a little bit, is it?
The chick's point of view.
I see.
They're not going to sit in the corner anymore.
Did anybody, and I can't tell what's considered good or what's considered bad in dresses, It doesn't look like anyone fucks up anymore because they're afraid to. But one thing I did notice, Sandra Bullock was wearing this big gown that had pockets. And to me, it's like the best thing I've ever seen in a dress. I would not be able to live without pockets. So if I had to wear a dress, it would have been Sandra Bullock's last night.
It's got to be nice because you won't have to have one of those tiny, tiny little evening purses that won't even hold your hotel key. There's no reason for an evening purse whatsoever.
Yeah. Fezzy, I forgot to tell you this. Time and time again, people with the last name Robertson have been sending me emails and stuff demanding that you switch up with Earl one day. That really will be an uncomfortable hour when we do that. You'll be taking Earl's place, and Earl and I will go one-on-one, mano-a-mano.
I will do my best. If I end up having to do that, I will do my best to keep us on the air.
So
on the satellite.
Alan Robertson is the latest to call, and he has sent stuff with his license. And you're in a little bit of trouble here, Fez.
I said Cops and Robertson's made-up name. No one actually has that name. They just did it for that movie's sake.
Is one of the things that you were a little cranky about. Hey, Ken, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, how are you?
You're on, Ken.
Hey, that chick is a fucking liar. She lied on O&A this morning, and she lied to you guys. Keith Urban was sitting right next to Nicole Kidman in the audience. That chick's full of shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't recognize Keith Urban personally if the fucking guy came running up here, stood on a flag, and started yelling that I was going to hell. I still wouldn't know who he was.
And shouldn't he be Keith Rural?
Yeah.
To hit with the country folk a little bit more?
Well, at least suburban. It seems like you at least want to be in the suburbs. All right, thank you very much, buddy. So Keith was there. Now, I don't even remember seeing her in the audience last night. I guess she was. I guess the people, they sit in the audience until it's their time to give away. I don't like that gimmick. I like, if you're in the show, you're backstage, nobody sees you, then you come out, boom, look, you know what I mean? Look what she's wearing, looks what she's doing. I think you kind of ruin a little bit. Nobody wants to see Mick Jagger walking through the parking lot on his way up to the stage. You want, boom, suddenly the show to start, and there's Mick. Yes.
The best appearance, I thought, that pulled that off was Woody Allen.
Yeah.
From a couple of years ago, introducing films that feature New York.
Thank you very much. And then you're like, holy shit, who expected to see Woody Allen there? That's a nice one. Didn't Clinton do it one year or something where, I don't know, somebody like that you didn't expect? It seems like John Travolta shows up every year, too. All right, here is Alan. Alan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up? Are we going to get Black Girl in there then on Friday or what?
Alan, you did send your picture ID. Fez screamed, nobody has the last name Robertson. I have heard from almost every state and Providence in Canada, Fezzy, that you were wrong about that.
Yeah, someone sent me an email of just how many are listed in the online white pages or something like that.
Yeah. So
hundreds.
Yeah, apparently there's quite a few. All right, Alan, we will do that switch. I don't know when we're going to do it, but Fez will rotate back. And then here's what will happen. The way that I'll do it, Fez, is one day I'll just yell rotate. And then you guys have to quickly, let's practice it now. Ready?
All right.
Fez, I was noticing yesterday with the Yankees, rotate!
Oh, man!
Rotate! Man. See, your problem is you yell, oh, man. You never just make the bolt. All right, Earl, let's see you're in the Fezzy's chair first.
Hiya.
Yeah. Fez is back. And rotate! And back off they go. So it's that simple that we're going to move those guys from, Fez, you run like somebody that's on the celebrity supermarket show. You just have a run like a guy who doesn't do it very much.
I got to watch my feet.
Yeah. Here is the Radio Shark to explain to us why he can't get on O'Reilly at all. How you doing, Radio Shark?
Hey, I was looking in my archives, and I found a tape of Bill O'Reilly talking with a special caller. Would you like to hear it?
I know that you don't have it.
Here, listen.
If anything, it's going to be something with me and Fez.
No.
Yeah.
That would be so good. And, she'd probably take it because she's never going to get another movie role in her whole life. So that would be great. If you were in Hollywood, you Hollywood weasels are listening to me. Offer this role of Private Lynch to Madonna. Yeah, I mean, look, there's lots of ironies here, Dan, as you pointed out. And there are a lot of things going to happen in the next 2 weeks that are going to keep you very fascinating. Well, everybody keep watching and listening. Let's go to Big Rock, Virginia. Billy's on the line. Go, Billy.
You are so beautiful to me.
Hey, Billy, look, let me break it to you gently, all right? You, Joe Cocker, nothing in common. None. All right? But keep practicing up there. Dallas, Honolulu.
All right, hey, Shark?
Yeah.
You could hear that he was much happier in those days.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get threatened with Fox security police.
Yeah.
No, they can't catch him.
And that's also when he was thrilled about Private Lynch being a war hero, before all the real stories came out.
It was a little while ago, but I still got through. Been there, done that.
Need the T-shirt.
Hey, let's join the team.
Yeah, come on in one day, all right?
I'm going to come in this week. How's that?
I'll have Earl contact you, and we'll see what's
I'll contact him.
You contact Earl. Or either that or XM Security. We'll get a hold of you.
Someone's going to be contacted.
All right, we'll bring you in soon.
Yeah, okay. Have a good day.
All right, take care, buddy. That's the fucking always crazy radio shark who his idea of a good call is to have a drunk Billy Staples singing to Bill O'Reilly. And it sounds like 2 years ago when O'Reilly just started. And you can see that he sounded much happier and into his job.
Yeah, it's he had much more of a, I'll just go along with this.
Yeah.
Even let him get the line out, Billy's line.
Hey, what's the story? Give me a little spy report here, Earl, on the David Lee Roth deal. Did he come back today?
I believe he has not come back yet.
All right, so this is not a vacation after all, huh?
This might be a permanent vacation.
Yeah.
From his problems.
We're making some changes. We're going in another direction, and you're not part of it.
Yeah, I think their midday show, basically, they moved everyone up. The midday show is doing the morning show. I think it's JV and Elvis, and Jim Cramer now is doing middays.
So through the whole show? He was only supposed to get an hour.
I mean, that is...
Did they just move his hour to middays?
I think he's doing like a full show now, but the whole channel's a mess right now.
Well, you know, what channel on radio is it? But the whole point was he was getting an hour show. You're going to fucking do 4 hours of a guy telling you what stocks to buy? That's a once-a-week break at most. And even then, it's a little much.
IBM back down. Just updates.
But see, here's the thing. Most of the guys that are doing that show would actually be working on Wall Street. So your listeners are actually trying to make deals at that point. Earl's looking around like he's getting an update. Are you, Earl?
Yeah, we're looking for just trying to get an update on what the whole deal with Kramer is.
Yes, I know. Thank you very much. Don't repeat back my question to me.
I'm sorry.
What else is happening out there, Fezzy Lou?
Yeah, Jessica Lynch came up on that O'Reilly call with the Radio Shark. Now
He sure did.
Now the Army investigating Pat Tillman's death, saying there may be criminal negligence involved here.
Well, here's where we were with Pat Tillman originally. First of all, Pat Tillman, for everybody who doesn't know he's the guy who played with the Arizona Cardinals, quit the NFL when he was making millions and millions of dollars a year. I think like $2 million a year. Joined the armed services making, small money. Got killed in Afghanistan. Shocked us all. Even if you weren't a big fan of his going on, everybody had the opportunity to know that he was going over there. When that happened, it was just heartbreaking. Then after they did all this, he went down a hero, all the excitement about it. Later, we found out he was killed by friendly fire, which they knew right from the beginning and didn't tell everybody. And then, if now the way they're acting, like it was like he was killed on purpose.
Yeah, like it's the trooper, the Army the friendly fire that he was killed from.
Yes.
It was so negligent that it borderlines on criminal.
So he wasn't being fragged. It was just so bad they're saying it was criminal. Okay. Well, I've never heard of anybody being accused of that before, but we'll see what happens here. Here's Graham. Graham, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Good morning,
hey, Graham.
boys. Good afternoon, actually.
Yeah.
David Lee was back. They were talking about the Oscars and what they did on vacation.
All right, Earl. So what are you doing given this crazy Jim Cramer's doing a 7-hour show thing? Why would you lower yourself to that kind of mongering, gossip mongering?
Why the lies?
Way to go, Earl.
Earl,
I listened to Pitts. That was
you
my
have.
mistake.
Oh God, you're selling out your own team. You're selling out Pitts, the man who's doing the job for you. Pitts, I don't want you to take that. You're a guy who's straight up on this.
It was my fault, yes.
Yeah. Pitts, was it you?
No, it was Earl.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
That's what we thought, Pitts.
866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Sid, you're on Ron and Fez.
I can't believe it. I haven't worked with Team Black Earl in probably 5 years, and it's the same old stuff all over again.
This is Sid Rosenberg?
That's right, the great Sid Rosenberg, who will be replacing David Lee Roth before you can say yes.
Sidney, what are you up to, buddy?
I'm doing okay. How you guys doing?
Good. Where are you now?
I'm down in Miami, actually.
Yeah.
I lost my job up in New York. You guys may have heard about it.
Yeah, it did kind of make the papers here. So how's everything going for you, Sid?
It's going pretty well. I'm actually doing well. I feel great. I look great. I would have liked a little more support from Ron and Fez and Opie and Anthony, but whatever.
Support in what way?
Well, I don't know. It just seemed like you guys are kind of benevolent about the whole thing.
That we're kind of what?
Like benevolent.
Benevolent in what way, Sid?
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what benevolent means, to be honest with you.
What should we have done for you?
Well, I think there should have been an outcry for the support for Sid Rosenberg.
In what
and
way?
I don't feel that was the case.
In what way?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. You've been a lot of pressure on me here, by the way.
No, I mean, you called us, and if we let you down in some way, I was curious to hear.
You can never let me down. You guys were and still are. First of all, you're two of the most talented guys in the media. And second of all, I loved your show then, and I love it now. I mean, I'm still on terrestrial radio. You guys have moved forward to the next great frontier, and I'm still a huge Ron and Fez fan.
So you're saying get you on XM? Is that it, Sid?
Oh, okay.
Do I want to be on XM?
Yeah.
How's the pay?
The pay's nice. The pay's very, very nice, yeah.
You guys are making good money?
Yeah. Now,
Okay, I'll come in. Fine.
Now, have you called them? Have you done anything, Sid Rosenberg?
I have not
of course,
called them.
he was with us at WNEW. Then he was at the Fan, and then you were doing the sports for Don Imus, right?
That's correct. I did Sports on Imus for about 4 years and had a great time with that.
Uh-huh.
Nothing like getting up at 4:30 in the morning to be hammered by the I-Man all over the country and all over the world, actually, on MSNBC. And now I've moved on to Miami, but I mean, if XM pays, I'll come over. No big deal. Fine. What time should I come over?
No, you said that. What happened exactly when you left? Imus threw you under the bus somehow. What happened?
No. That's not true. No, Don's a friend of mine.
Uh-huh.
I got nothing bad to say about Don. I enjoyed the working experience. It was a great time.
Uh-huh.
I'm still very close to lots of guys on that show, actually.
But now, are you on the air in Miami?
I'm on the air in Miami. I do a 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. show, guys, every day with a guy named O.J. McDuffie, who was a starting wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins for years. In fact, Dan Marino's go-to guy for a couple of years.
Right.
And then I do a solo show on Saturdays down here from 12 to 4 in the afternoon. So, and I've been doing quite well, actually. It's a nice place to live. You guys know. You guys are down in South
Sure,
Florida.
we love. Yeah, it's a nice place to be, particularly in the wintertime.
Well, right now it is the winter time. So
yeah.
Right now it's 78 and sunny where I am. I'm about to head to the beach right after this. I think the last time I saw you guys, you were both we were going to watch a Tampa Bay Buccaneer game, right?
Yeah.
You watched one with me and my parents one time, Sid.
I do remember that. Your parents are very, very nice people. That was a good time.
And Sid picked up lunch for us.
So what is the best thing that's happened to you since you went to the satellite thing? What would you say is the best thing that's happened to you?
The best thing that happens to us is they just leave us alone, Sid. That
nobody bothers you, right?
Nobody bothers you. Nobody wants to go over the show with you.
And you can say the F word whenever you want.
You can curse whenever you want. You can say whatever you want about anybody else. It's just a whole different frontier.
I got to be there. I got too many restrictions. I got too many limitations. I got a lot to say.
You want to say something about the Williams sisters, blah, blah, blah.
Take it easy.
Doesn't matter here.
Really?
You can do all that here, Sid.
Yeah.
But here's the question. When you do that there, does anybody know about it?
I guarantee you there's more people hearing you now than were hearing you on an AM station in Miami earlier today.
You know what? You're probably right.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure what that's indicative of because Miami's not exactly the best market in the world. I mean, all I know is this. I know you guys are on there, and you guys are great. Opie and Anthony are on there. Those guys are better than great. They're also fantastic. So they got the right people at the job there. I know that.
But somehow we all weren't there for you, Sid, when you needed us.
Right. Somehow or another, you guys got these multi-million-dollar contracts at XM, and I had to shove my tail between my legs and come down to Florida and make $1.75 and get a grilled cheese sandwich and smile about it.
And you thought that we should have been outraged when you were canned from a station and none of us worked for.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way I feel. I feel like, yeah.
Now, when you had some of your troubles, I don't know whether you heard from it, I called Olive, and I said, Olive, I've been down that fucking road before. If Sid wants to get together for me, here's my number. He and I can talk.
Right.
So, I feel like, everybody's got their own bottom, but I did kind of reach out to you there.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Did you just say fucking road before, by the way?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I just said fuck too on the air.
Yeah, anything can happen. Yeah, we've all been through that. So, I don't want you to... I don't want you to feel like you were let go from us for part of your recovery stuff, but at the same time,
okay,
you know,
I don't feel that way.
I'm not your agent. I don't go around trying to book gigs for you.
Right. But you were clearly a big fan of mine, even back in my early days when nobody thought, quite frankly, I was any good. Not that that changed a heck of a lot, but...
Where, at NEW?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought, you were the wild sports guy. I always thought you did a good job. But
and what happened?
Well,
what happened? I got fired like the rest of them.
You went to another station.
Yeah, it seems to me like you're walking through life having a pretty good time here. You had 4 years on the Fan. That was a good gig, right?
Yeah, but I got fired in humiliating fashion. I mean, what is wrong with you? What do you mean walking through life having a good time? That's just my phony exterior. In my interior, I am fighting demons and majorly depressed every day, bro. I mean, any time now I could just jump off the freaking Miramar Bridge if they even have that.
Right.
They have that, actually.
But you know that all the things that happened there is your responsibility, right, Sid?
What are you saying? That the things that happened is my fault?
Yeah.
You're asking me to take responsibility?
Yes. Isn't that part of your program?
No, I refuse to do it. I believe that there were outside pressures. Especially from guys like you. You guys and Opie and Anthony, over the years, have provided me with outside pressure to go above and beyond what was expected of me. So to be quite frank, I blame almost everything that's gone wrong in my career on you guys.
All right, well, that is the first step. You've taken the first step.
Blame.
Yeah, into staying in Miami.
Programs already. What are you talking about?
But here's the thing. Why, as a fucking guy who's in a 12-step program, why is your move Miami, where basically the mayor is fucking doing bumps every day?
Yeah.
That's not the best place for you.
Yeah, but you know what? Outside of New York, it's the most Jews are down here, and I'm not widely accepted. I can't go to La Crosse, Wisconsin.
No.
And say, hey, I'm Sid Rosenberg. Welcome to town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
The fucking KKK is running wild. They're bigger than ever. They're collecting arms all across La Crosse, Wisconsin, and Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Right. So you feel like the only real two markets for you, New York, Miami.
Well, I can go to D.C. I can go to Boston. I'm a very diverse guy. I can go to California. I can go to Dallas.
Yeah. Do you have an agent now?
Of course I got an agent. I got one of the best agents in the country.
Who do you have?
The great Mark Lupselter, who also represents Tiki Barber, Rondé Barber, Lawrence Taylor.
Well, that's great if you're a fucking New York Giant, but what about in radio? Does he have the radio connections?
He's got Joe Beningo, who does middays up at WFN in New York City from 10 to 1. That's a pretty big guy.
All right, so have you had him call Eric Logan?
I don't even know who Eric Logan is. Who's that?
Eric Logan is running the programming at XM.
You got to do some research, Sid.
I've not called Eric Logan. I know. I should be doing. You're right. I have not done the proper research. I will call Eric Logan. No, but now that you tell me to call Eric Logan, I'm going to call him. He's just going to hang up on me or embarrass me.
No, I don't think so. I think, all right, Earl, you're saying yes, he wants no part of him?
No, I mean, but Logan's a cool guy. He'll at least listen.
Yeah. You could tell him what happened there at the Fan. You had your dream job, and then you're doing mornings, and you're not just on Imus's show, but you're also on TV. It's TV and radio. It must have been like a beautiful gig for you.
It was, but I was under a lot of pressure, and there's always you talked about it, the coke and the booze and the
right.
There was some. It was a rough time. When you have a little success, as you guys have had in many places, and you're generally a weak person like I am,
right.
You know how to handle it, and you go right through you just go nuts.
Right. So
what it wasn't enough to play a damn softball game with Black Earl and the guys from WNEW. I go the next step.
You got to go higher. So the best thing for you was failure.
Don't give me this philosophical psychology.
Well, I'm just trying to say, I mean, the last thing I want to do is bring you back into a successful situation.
Oh, so you want me to just rot and go away and eventually just be one of those names forgotten 10 years from now? Well, that's not going to happen, big guy.
What about being a gym teacher? Something along those lines. Something that's a little...
You like sports.
You're giving back to the community.
Not a terrible idea, actually. They got good... Well, what grade? What grade are we talking about?
Not too old. I can't have you near the 11th grade girls.
I can't bang any of this. No, I can't do any of that, huh?
All right, so here's Sid. All right, so you hit rock bottom, but you're pushing back off. You're ready to come back, huh, Sid?
That's pretty much the case. And I will just say this, because there's nothing worse than self-promotion, so I'm going to do it right now.
Go ahead.
Any station, any satellite, any place up there that is not willing to give me a shot and decent money is behind the times. And quite frankly, stupid. But that's not for me to say, even though I just said it. I think I did, didn't I?
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the way you're promoting yourself out there. You're all.
Hey, listen, who's that guy? Who's that guy that kept calling my show after all these years up at FAN? And He would come on and try to talk about the Mets. The next thing you know, he said, Ron and Fez said hello. Iris, what's that fucking guy's name?
Yeah, it's probably Iris. That's
I'm
probably who
going
it
to
is.
beat that guy's ass when I see him.
I don't blame you, buddy. All right, thank you very much, Sid. You stay in touch. Yeah, that's it. I thought you did really well. Everybody really liked it.
It was a nice showcase for you.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to call me back and book me now or what?
Yeah, well, Earl, I'm going to put you on hold. Earl's going to give you Elo's number.
Hey, bro, can I get money? Can I get money if I come on your show, like once a week or something like that?
These are the type of things most people would talk about off the air, Yeah. Make it a little less awkward.
Or Tika's agent would handle it.
Yeah.
Could you lend me like $5,000? I'm not even. I'm being totally serious, bro. I need like $5,000. I'm serious, bro. I'll get it. I'm telling you, I'll have it back in less than 2 weeks.
I'm going to have you talk to that. Eric Logan is handling all those kind of things.
Oh, he's going to lend me $5,000, Eric Logan?
He probably will. He seems like the type of guy. And
good. Maybe
2 weeks. 2 weeks is not bad.
Yeah, well, it may take long. It may take 3 or 4 weeks, but whatever. I'm in that general area. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I understand.
Yeah. All right, bro.
All right. Hold on.
Hey, Fez, how's your penis?
That's great, Sid. Thanks.
Earl, pick up the phone and just start saying words to him off the air.
Just random ones.
I can't believe he didn't start going, how can I be the man of the man? He's that fucking crazy right now.
He just dropped out.
What is it about sports guys? They get so wired.
I don't know.
It drives them quite mad. All the stats and scores, all the numbers finally get to you.
Hey, Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Just wanted to call in and ask, is it a crazy person day on Ron and Fez show today?
It really does feel like there's a theme going on around here today.
I got to mark my calendar from next March 6th.
Yeah. You know what we ought to do is give Sid the wiki. Wiki and Sid would be able to work things out properly.
Maybe those two minds could come together. Something.
We'll take a break. Right back. Ron and Fez Show.
Ron Bennington, Fez Whatley, The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
A couple of minutes ago, old buddy of ours from WNEW.
He was part of the Sports Guys.
Sports Guys. That was how many people were actually on the Sports Guys at one time or another?
About as many as you had, and as many producers as you had.
It was Sid and Scott at first,
was Scott and Sid,
yeah.
And then it was Riggins that joined.
They joined Riggins, and then what happened?
It was like Eddie Ift, and
I forgot Eddie Ift
for a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Matt Moonshine.
And Eddie Ift didn't know those guys before, or he did. He was a comic, right?
Yeah, he was a stand-up guy.
Yeah, so somehow they thought we'll put Eddie Ift on there. That was
kind of like the Tom Arnold type experiment. Let's put a funny guy in there.
And then where did we go? Oh, they got rid of Scott, right? Scott.
Yeah, Scott left.
What used to happen is any of them would take a vacation. If you took a vacation there, you were fucked. They would not welcome you back. So Scott left, and who came in?
Blaine? Was he next?
No, Blaine was like
way down. Yeah.
That was way down. The only constant was
the
Olive.
Jersey guy. The Jersey guy came on.
Oh God,
Craig
Carton.
Craig Carton.
Yeah. So then he came on, and then he got fucking.
Yeah. Then it was just one of those. Hey, I'm going on vacation.
Then Sid went. No, Sid went on vacation, and Sid was out.
Right.
Yeah,
then it was Craig and Blaine.
Yes, and then I think Blaine left.
And there was somebody with them.
Yeah,
there was a third guy with Craig and Blaine.
Yeah, there was always a third guy. It was always a revolving door of a nightmare there.
Yeah, the only constant was Olive.
Yeah.
It was like Murphy Brown in reverse. He was like the one constant on an ever-changing show.
Just insane. Here is Seth. Seth, you're on the Ron and Fez Show.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah.
What has happened to freaking Sid Rosenberg? I mean, the guy is like, I was just thinking while he was on, I was thinking he could probably do a great, segment with your show where he did, a sports betting thing with Fezzy every once in a while.
Well, I don't think sports betting is the best thing for Sid to be involved in.
Neither is you lending him $5,000 so he could go do blow for a weekend.
Yeah, well, he and $5,000 of mine are not going to be meeting each other, that's for sure. Thank you very much. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here is Rich. Rich, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I got to tell you guys, first time caller, long time listener. He's awesome. Sid Rosenberg is awesome.
Oh yeah, he's terrific.
There would be. You guys have plenty of room on this station to put him on for a talk radio sports cast where he's able to curse and say what he really feels. He would be awesome.
The guy has an encyclopedia, sports encyclopedia for a mind. Everybody knows that. That's not the problem.
You got to push for him. You got to help him out.
Well, we said we'd definitely hook him up, but. You know, I don't know why. I guess his agent never even attempted it. I have no idea. I didn't know who his agent was. Did you, Fez?
No, I had no idea.
I know he has Tiki Barber, which is real nice if, you know, you're a running back. But I don't know if you did. I've never heard of a sports agent handling sports guys. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe they do their own stuff out that way. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Hey, Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah.
I'm about 20 miles from Guyman, and me and a bunch of my Harley riding buddies are going to be going to the funeral tomorrow, and didn't know if you needed a live correspondent.
Yeah, if you're at that funeral tomorrow that the crazy church is going to be protesting at?
Yeah, the Westboro Baptist Church and Shirley Phelps Roper.
Yeah, we're definitely going to let our presence be known, and this will be the first one I've gone to, but we don't take their outlook on bags and the Army and everything very lightly, and who knows what's going to happen. My brother, him and I both ride together. He's a war veteran himself, and I know he's got real strong feelings about Shirley and her quacks.
Yeah, well, if you're out there tomorrow, give us a call. That would be fun.
I definitely will.
Thank you very much. I'm starting to feel really close with Shirley, like she's part of the team. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. You know who would be perfect for her, too? Sid. To somehow get those two kids together.
The voice of the people.
Joe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, hey, Fez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to listen to the fan, and Blaine and Craig and Sid would be together, those three at one time.
They were sports guys in the morning?
Yeah, and Sid would get an ulcer because he was the only guy that knew sports. And Blaine, which is was with Rocky, he was a funny guy. And Craig knew nothing about sports, and he used to drive Sid crazy that these other two guys were considered the sports guys. Yeah. It was just comical to listen to Sid.
Yeah, you know, here's the weird thing about that. The sports guys, it never really worked out at WNEW. Oh, no. I believe every guy who left that show went on and found some success in their career. So it was never that there was not good people. There was something about that morning slot at WNEW, which I don't know in the history of that station. Have they ever had morning numbers?
Yes, with Dave Herman.
Dave Herman.
Yes.
Going back when?
How far back is that?
20 years?
20 years.
No.
Back to like mid-'80s, mid to late 80s.
So it's been a long time since they've had any morning numbers.
The Curse of Herman.
And everybody, Craig Carton went on to do real well at the Jersey...
101.5, yeah.
Yeah, with the Jersey guys. Sid went on to do real well. Of course, Blaine is, PLJ or something?
Yeah, with Rocky.
Yeah, so he's doing well. Everybody seemed like they would leave that place that would be the best possible thing that ever happened to him.
And Olive doing all right for himself.
Olive doing real fine. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here is Brad. Brad, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I'm just letting you know I'm calling from Kansas, and I just don't want everybody to associate those lunatics that you guys had on earlier, that everybody from Kansas is like that.
Come on, bro. Everybody from Kansas is like that. Just admit it. That is...
No, we're not, man. I swear.
Your prom date sounded just like her.
No, not my prom date. Hey, you guys got a great show. I enjoyed listening to you.
Thanks, brother, man.
See, we got class.
Yeah, all right. See you later. Well, she's always real nice to us, too.
She just likes to laugh. When something bad or tragic happens, she really gets a big belly laugh out of it.
Well, when she said 9/11 was her favorite day ever, and then was protecting her niece or whatever for standing on a flag, she's a little different from most people that you meet. Look who's coming back, Hagar. Hagar, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Hey, buddy.
Calling in again.
What's up?
Just want to apologize for the first bad call. And I'm sorry if I slowed the show down, but I promise calls from here on out will be better.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Security!
Fox Security will be calling you. See you later, pal.
Buddies.
All right, bye. We haven't exactly trained the callers here to be able to get the jokes.
Not yet.
Obviously, when we said Hagar was a bad caller, we were just joking about it. Oh, here's our security, Fez. It's Master Poe.
Master Poe showed up.
Hey, guys, how we doing?
Good. Now, you heard Bill O'Reilly has security, that he will have bad callers beat up. We were wondering if we could do the same.
You want bad callers to be beat up?
Yeah.
No.
Big trouble is what Mr. O'Reilly's passing along.
Yeah.
So they're getting on the phone, they're dialing a number, and they're yelling and screaming or cursing at you, and you want me to beat them up?
Yes, beat them up.
Yeah?
I play the O'Reilly call one more time so Master Poe can understand what they're doing at Fox, and it's what we're looking for here at XM.
Orlando, Florida. Mike, go.
Hey, Bill, I appreciate you taking my call.
Sure.
I like to listen to you during the day. I think Keith Olbermann's show.
There you go. Mike is he's a gone guy. You know, we have your phone numbers, by the way. So if you're listening, Mike, we have your phone number, and we're going to turn it over to Fox Security, and you'll be getting a little visit.
Maybe Mike is from the mothership.
No, maybe Mike's going to get in big trouble, because we're not going to play around. When you call us, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we do have your phone number. And if you say anything untoward, obscene, or anything like that, Fox Security then will contact your local authorities, and you will be held accountable. Fair?
That's fair.
So just all you guys who do this kind of a thing, you know, I know some shock jocks, whatever, you will be held accountable. Believe it. We'll be right back.
Now, you see that, Master Poe? That's what we're looking for. Someone does a bad impression. I want you showing up that night with a Chinese star, putting an eye out.
Well, you want me to break their thumbs?
Whatever happens, happens.
There needs to be an accounting.
I don't want to hear the details. I just want that person to suffer for a bad call.
What about kneecaps?
Or, here's the two things we need. One, no bad callers. Two, any woman get pregnant, I need you to do that thing that you do. The at-home... I forget exactly what you call it, as an at-home abortion, or let's forget about the trouble, or who needs a rattle. I forget the angle that you call it. But I don't want to know all the things that happen. I want to live my life sloppily, and then have you come in like the cleaner, cleaning up everything behind me.
So you want me to go and clean up the mess?
Yes. Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Think you're the perfect man for the job.
Bad calls, they hurt. Women that are pregnant, it's done. There won't be a baby shower. I want you just to leave here every day and say, Ronnie B, don't worry, there won't be a baby shower.
Operation No Shower.
And I don't care if it's 8.5 months.
Is there a particular time that you want me to go? At nighttime, daytime?
Midnight.
Oh, midnight.
I want you to come in at midnight like the Crow. Like the Crow.
Okay.
Yeah. Just sweep in on these bad callers. Tear their eyes out if you have to. How's everything gone in your life, Master Poe?
Fantastic.
Yeah. How many students you up to now?
I think we're about 135.
Wow, 135.
Yes.
At your place. Where's, what's the name of it again?
Master Poe's Martial Arts and Fitness Center in Nutley, New Jersey.
And you got the website?
Yes, masterpoesback.com.
Now, you can go there to learn any kind of martial art?
You can learn boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, aikido, kali.
And then also an at-home abortion, which you say comparable rates in Haiti, any place in the world.
I don't know. I got to think about that one.
Well, each case.
Yeah. Either way. Here is Dave. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on? I just want to say, I don't understand. Well,
this is a bad caller. Master Poe. I want you to trace him. I want you to beat his fucking lungs out.
Here's your first target.
Yeah.
Dave.
Can you trace every call?
Absolutely.
Kill.
Trace them, kick them, punch them, make their hearts stop.
Okay.
Make them die. Make them not live anymore.
Sneak behind them.
Yeah. Could you snap a neck if you needed to? Let's say Bronx Johnny came in here with Johnny, here, take this, pretend it's a knife. You're just running through the door, and let's see if somebody... No, go back now. And within the next 30 seconds, come bursting in here and see if you can get to me before Master Poe stops you. So I'll just be like this. Now, Master Poe, you never realized. Fez, what do we got planned for the show tomorrow? Oh, my God, armed intruder!
Bang.
Armed intruder!
And I just shot him. He's dead.
All right, now you're pretending, Master Poe. I need you to leap up...
You didn't stop him.
Kick him and snap his neck. Hey, Nick. Nick, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Nick.
Yo, how you doing, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
Listen, Master Paul, we saw you this weekend up at S.H. Riley's, and you were cool as hell. You actually took my girlfriend around to get all the pictures with the guys, and she absolutely loves you, and I just want to thank you for that.
Not a problem, man. I had a great time.
I'll tell you, that was very comical, and it's also a little scary to see that some of the fans are really way too much into the pal talk. But other than that, the guys put on a great show. You sang your heart out a couple of times. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I had a great time. Hey, how'd you like that food? Wasn't that delicious? Phenomenal.
Let me tell you, no one talks about the fried calamari. That is absolutely
I'm starving right now.
I know.
You know what I mean? If we're going to talk about food, we have to have a little something for
That
you.
food is good. You have to taste the arugula. I'm telling you. I'm going there, and I'm going to have 2 plates of arugula.
I am starving. W.F. Clark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah. How you doing? 3669.
Way to go with school for us.
Hoo-ah! Hey, listen, I lost all respect for Master Poe when he put Jackie Chan in front of Bruce Lee as one of the all-time karate guys.
Okay, hold on. Let me first straighten this all out. I'm going to clarify
that because there's a lot of heat about that.
I know. I'm going to tell you straight up, okay?
Yeah.
Number 1, I said Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is number 1 in my book.
You were saying today when you said
I
Jackie
said
Chan.
I meant back then Bruce Lee was number 1. I'll say it today, tomorrow, next year. Let me tell you something. This mixed martial arts that they have today, it just didn't start 10 years ago. It started a long time ago. And if you think about it, look at one of the movies, Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee was doing mixed martial arts back then. And you have some famous martial artists that came up, and he was one of them.
So, Jackie Chan, bag of shit. All right.
No.
Oh, not a bag of shit.
No.
Yeah. Jackie Chan's your second all-time favorite.
Jackie Chan would be number 2, because I've watched him longer than I've watched Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
Jet Li's good, though.
He is good. But if you're just talking about movies and being entertaining, I think you got to pick Jackie Chan first. Because the movie works even if it wasn't for the martial arts. There's a lot of comedy in those movies.
Yeah, Jackie Chan is very funny, and he's able to move and spin and turn and twist and do things that people just can't do.
I'm going to give you a name here, and I want you to be very careful about this person, Sid Rosenberg. I just want you to keep an eye on him. He thinks I'm lending him 5 Gs. I'm just a little nervous about it. Hey, Bob. Bob, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you, buddy?
Honorable Poe, translate this song.
Why are you crying, Poe? Why would this song make you cry? You know what this means? Listen, tonight we fight mixed martial arts, and it just goes on and on like this. It's a very beautiful song. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
Hey, Master Pro, I was just wondering, how do you think you would do in the Ultimate Fighting Championship in the Octagon?
The Ultimate Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The Ultimate Fighting is awesome. I love it. I think it's a great sport. There's a difference between the Ultimate Fighting and street fighting, or how you would survive in the street. Because people in the street, there are no rules. And I'm familiar with, the no rule limit. Somebody attacks you in the street with a knife, a gun, or whatever. But the Ultimate Fighters, they're fantastic fighters. They're in great shape. But once again, you take these fighters and you put them in the street, and they're going to do 10. I mean, they're going to survive. But if you take away the rules that they have in the Ultimate Fighting, people are going to die. So I'm used to the no rule thing. I'm used to self-defense, combat in the street. I'm not used to someone telling me that I can't rip someone's eye out.
You can't be contained by an octagon.
In my school, there's only 3 rules, the school I teach. Number 1, there are no rules. Number 2, no kicking. I don't go for the kicking. And number 3, you don't fight until a half an hour after lunch. I don't like the kids eating a full meal and going out there and fighting.
Well, a lot of those kids will throw up.
Number 4, cash, not checks.
Doesn't this all violate rule number 1 of no rules?
Rule 5. Forget about rule number 1.
Oh, there we go.
Master Poe, let's hear about your site one more time.
Well, my site is masterprosback.com. We have a full fitness trainer in my studio, and he takes care of all the fitness training. We have a full gym, and his name is Dennis. And people are coming down and learning how to develop muscle tone, strengthening their body, power. And as far as me, I teach the boxing, the kickboxing, trapping, locks, throws, takedowns, knife fighting, stick fighting.
It's all there.
I can't teach people how to cook, though.
And the abortions? We'll talk about that next time. See you later, everybody.
Ronnie, I almost forgot it's Mikey D's birthday. Good Lord, don't let me forget that again. Happy birthday, Mikey D.
Great, you're not going to mention Jules. Take care, everybody.
Guys, thanks. I had a good time.
The Ron and Fez Show. XM.